inside local हम बाहर वाली सारा डाउन जैसे 10 में चलो कौन सा इधर देखो नहीं हो रहा ना हाँ चैप्टर 16 चल रहा है ये यूनिट कौन सा चल रहा है 13 इसमें 4 चैप्टर था इस वाला भी कर रहा है इसमें जो भेजा था उसमें 4 ही था मैं बोला इतने जल्दी जल्दी बोल रहे हैं 16 हां 16 में क्या 13 14 15 16 4 ही था हां 17 के लिए नहीं 16 के लिए स्लोली अभी इसके बाद लेंगे क्या इसलिए तो जल्दी जल्दी कर रहे हैं हमको बताएंगे कॉलेज में मैंने एक्सपीरियंस में आया तो मेरा जो ना सुनना 13 14 15 16 रोजी साहब 5 चैप्टर 5 दिन में 5 दिन में 5 से देखो विलास को कितना
बोल विलासवर्धन प्रभु प्रभु इस यूनिट में कितने चैप्टर है हाँ, और अनम्यूट करो, अनम्यूट करो।
13, 14, 15, 16,
17वां क्यों है? 17वां नहीं है ना?
17, 18, 19, 20 ये अलग यूनिट है जो कि समर्पण को थ्रू लेंगे।
प्रभु जी इसमें ले रहे हैं लेकिन।
ले सकते हैं, कोई इशू नहीं है।
अरे बट पास में जा रहे हैं ना बहुत, फिर खत्म करने के मूड में है। बोलना है क्या ऐसा?
हाँ,
बोलना है क्या कि 16 तक ही लो ऐसा?
रुको मैं एक बार रुको डेवलपर से बात करता हूँ, उन्होंने कुछ बोला है क्या उनको? रुको डेवलपर ने शायद ऐसा कुछ बोला हो तो फिर करता हूँ मैं।
कितना लोग बैठा? 30 के बाद कितना डबल हो गया? 37।
Recording in progress.
पीडीएफ कृष्णोत्कीर्तन गानन परो प्रेमामृतांभो निधि कीर्तन गानन तन परो
प्रेमामृताम्भो निधि धीरा धीर जन प्रिय प्रिय करो निर्मत्सर पूजिता श्री चैतन्य कृपा भरो भारत वंदे रूप सनातनो रघुयुगो श्री जीव गोपालको नाना शास्त्र विचारणैक निपुणो सधर्म संस्थापको लोकानां हितकारिणो त्रिभुजे मान्यो शरण्यकरो राधा कृष्ण पदारविन्द भजन नंदेन मतलिका वंदे रूप सनातनो रघुयुगो श्री जीव गोपालको श्री गौरांग गुणानुवर्णन विधो श्रद्धा समृद्धि अन्वितो तापनिकृन्तनो तनुभृता गोविंद गानामृते आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनैक निपुणो कैवल्य निस्तारको वंदे रूप सनातनो रघुयुगो श्री जीव गोपालको दत्त्वा तूर्णमशेषमण्डलपति श्रेणीं सदा तोच्छव भूत्वा दीन गणेश को करुणया कोऽपि न कण्ठाश्रितो गोपी भावरसामृता दिलहरी कल्लोलमग्नो मुहुः वन्दे रूप सनातनो रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको पूजत कोकिलहंस सारस गणा कीणे मयूराकुले नानारत्न निबद्ध मूलमण्टप श्रीयुक्त वृंदावने राधा कृष्ण महर्निशं प्रभजतो जीवार्थ दोयो मुदा वन्दे रूप सनातनो रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको संख्या पूर्वक नाम गाननतिभि कालावसानि कृतो निद्राहार विहार कादिजय निद्रा कादितो चात्यंत दीनो जयो राधा कृष्ण गुणस्पतेर्मधुरिमा नंदेन सम्मोहिता वन्दे रूप सनातनो रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको राधा कुंड तटे कलिंदतन तीरे च वंशी वटे प्रेमोन्मादवशादशेष दशया ग्रस्तो प्रमत्तो सदा गायन्तो च कदा हरेर्गुणवनं भावविभूतो मुदा वन्दे रूप सनातनो रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको हे राधे व्रज देविके च ललिते हे नंद सूनो कुता श्री गोवर्धन कल्प पादपतले कालिंदी वने कुता ओ शांताविति सर्वतो व्रजपुरे हे धैर्महावेवलो वन्दे रूप सनातनो रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको वन्दे रूप सनातनो रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको वन्दे रूप सनातनो रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको श्री गोस्वामी अष्टकम की श्री गोस्वामी प्रभुगण की ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जन शलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरों श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साधुवैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिन इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतुषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपात् तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम् Welcome for this last session on third canto, chapter 16 and 17 today.
Yeah, 16 only.
Oh, really? Oh,
That's good.
Paka, I don't have my mobile. Good thing. What chapter? I don't know why they told 17 then.
No, Prabhuji,
Maybe I
email
took it
that
wrong.
it was mentioned.
It was 16, but maybe I took it wrong. Not a problem. It's good only. It's all good. Only 1 hour class. That's fine. It's 25 verses. That's that's a really great news. Because that's a different mood. It's good to read both the chapters together. Otherwise, fight will begin in one chapter and you have to wait for 1 month to conclude the fight. So better to have fight in 2 days and settle it. One day you prepare, next day you conclude. Otherwise, I would have begun, and the fight would have begun and conclusion the next time. Oh, good. Then we are quite relaxed. I would have got relaxed from beginning, but anyway, it's good only. I took section is very vital section what we are reading currently. Mhm.
Prabhuji, we can have little more question answers today if possible.
Yeah, if they're there, we will discuss. I'm not so good in answering question, but we'll try. So we have been discussing about how Lord Brahma is creating Swambhu, Manu and Shatrupa for increasing the progeny, increasing the population of the planet. And when Swambhu Manu comes, he becomes completely obedient to Brahmaji, asks what should he do. Brahmaji instructs him to create progeny like him. And then he asks, where should I create because the Bhumi Devi is not there. So then Brahmaji starts meditating how to get Bhumi back from Garbhoda Koshin. And then from his nostril, nose, one little upper thumb size bore comes. The additional sound effects, huh? so, so then it started growing, and Brahmaji could identify that he's the supreme personality of Godhead, perhaps. All the sages also come, Marichis, four Kumaras, Rishis, and then Lord rose and confirmed that he is the supreme Lord. Then the sages offer prayers, and then finally the Lord goes into the ocean and gets Bhumi Devi on the tusk and again reinstate her back in position. So in that process of describing, Maitre Muni just told that Lord fought with Hiranyaksha and killed that demon. So as Acharya is telling, these are two Manvantaras Varadeva appeared. Swambhu Manvantar, he just reinstated the earth. It has fallen by some arrangement. And in Chakshusha Manvantar, it was put down by the demon Hiranyaksha. So he fought and killed the demon Hiranyaksha in the Chakshusha Manvantar. So Maitreya Muni expressed his desire to hear more about this fight, how the Lord killed, why the Lord killed. And then Maitreya Muni says that I heard it from Lord Brahmaji, so I'll tell you. And then he started telling about the pregnancy of Diti in the evening, how Diti became afflicted by lusty desires, and she approaches Kashyap Muni, and Kashyap Muni tells her to wait, but she is so passionate she can't wait. And they had union at a wrong time. So later on, Kashyap Muni said the two demons will be born of your womb. When she repented, he said, your grandson will be a great devotee. So then Diti's womb, oh yeah, silent. Yeah, take it. Thank you. So, yeah. So Diti's womb, I mean, these two demons came in Diti's womb. So then matrimony continues that when Diti was having these two demons in the womb, by the power of these demons in the womb, the light of sun and moon got faded away. So the demigods became very perturbed because their daily activities got disturbed. So they went to Lord Brahma and asked, what's happening? What is causing that? Diti's womb is causing such inauspicious omen. What is that? Then Brahmaji started describing to the demigods that once these four original sons of mine, I mean the first sons of mine, they were just roaming and they happened to come to Vaikuntha. And then he describes about the Vaikuntha planet, which are free from envy and their place of great sweetness and great service to the Lord by all the devotees. And then the four Kumaras entered, they entered the six gates of Vaikuntha. The seventh gate, Jay and Vijay were standing, and they stopped them. And the four Kumaras, seeing them, they become very upset and angry because they thought that Vaikuntha, there are no Kunta here. There are no demons here. Demons can't enter Vaikuntha. So what is that? Entering Vaikuntha is a pure soul. So looks like that these are some kind of duplicate people. But they don't know that Vaikuntha is free from any kind of duality. So they look like they're imposters. So they prepare to curse them. And as they prepare to curse them, immediately the news went to Lord, and Lord comes out. And Lord comes out, then his beauty is being described, how beautiful the Lord is. Because beauty of the Lord is worth describing. So many magazines, newspaper about beauty of, this body made up of blood and pus and urine and stool. So many things goes on, so much poetry is made, movie songs are sung for beauty of this body, which doesn't remain for long. But Lord's beauty is original. It's transcendental, it's supremely sweet. So that is what describing. It never fades away, it only increases. Advaitam achyutam anadim ananta rupam. What is the next line? Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha. Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha. Is always eternally useful. And the beauties of this world, whosoever one may be, is just a matter of few years and everything fades and goes. We should see in one shot only, we should see a small girl, a grown-up lady, middle-aged, and an old woman. It's all cycle. The mind is so crazy, the mind just captures one screenshot only. Yoshita, as you was describing that day. Yoshita, and when they are in their youth, that is the time when man goes crazy. But if you see the whole cycle, they are going to become old also. But Lord never becomes old. His body is now Yavanam Cha, ever increasing beauty. Rupa Madhuri. So the four Kumaras have never seen the Lord, and they were just astounded to see the beauty of the Lord. All their senses were struck with wonder on seeing the beauty of the Lord. And then that, fragrance which take the breeze which took the fragrance of the tulsi leaves, mixed with saffron, applied on the lotus feet of the lotus-eyed Lord when it enters, and immediately they got shaken up. But till now they are attracted to the impersonal Brahmajyoti. Now they are like, personality of the Lord is so beautiful. And then, they start offering prayer to the Lord. And then the Lord, in this chapter, what we are reading currently, the Lord started speaking to them, glorifying them. So Lord is there, he's pacifying the four Kumaras by saying the Brahmanas are so great, and I have become pure by serving the Brahmanas. Lakshmi doesn't leave me because I serve the Brahmanas. I have so much glorious because I take the dust of the lotus feet of the Brahmanas. I'm not so much happy by eating food stuff through the fire as much as I'm happy when the Brahmanas are fed. They are literally my mouse, right? And these associates of mine, he is proclaiming them, these are mine. You are Brahmanas, I respect you, but these are mine. These doorkeepers are mine, although they have committed a mistake. So I respect you, but love them. That's how it is. I respect Brahmanas. I respect you because you're Brahmanas. I have to set the culture, but my love is still for my servant. These are my servant. Although they offended you, they acted against my mood, and they offended you, and they deserve the punishment, and you're right in punishing them, but still they are my servants. So they are both are like wondering what is Lord saying. So then finally, Lord begs forgiveness, please forgive them, and although you have cursed them, please bless them that they can come back again very soon. So then they're asking, why do you show affection for these two? Lord says, I cannot control myself. It is not possible to give up my natural qualities. Punishment is also my mercy to them. So let them come back to me again. So now in the next two verses, Brahmaji glorifying Lord's unique speech. Uttam Sloka glorified by Uttam Sloka uttered by Brahmaji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mukham karoti vacharam pangum langhayate girim yat kripat tamaham vande Shri Guru Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Brahmo Vacha Athatasya Satim Devim Rishikulyam Saraswatim Naswadya Manu Manu Dastanam Naswadya Manu Dastanam Tesham Atmapi Atrapyata.
Even though the sages had been bitten by the serpent of anger, their souls were not satiated with hearing the Lord's lovely and illuminating speech, which was like a series of Vedic hymns.
So Brahmaji is saying this, that they have been bitten by the serpent of anger. They became angry when they were stopped. But Lord spoke his speech, which was lovely and illuminating. Usatim means lovely. And Devi means shining. Atha tasya usatim devim rishi kulya means like a series of Vedic hymns. Saraswatim, that was the speech. So they heard this lovely and illuminating speech of the Lord, which looked like a series of Vedic hymns. But their souls were not satiated. They wanted to hear more. Vaishnava Thakur takes another perspective to the situation, where he says that though they showed great repentance, they were still in an angry mood. The non-removal of their anger shows the difficulty in removing offense to the devotee. Though the Kumaras committed such offense to the devotees, they are experiencing the sweetness of the fragrance of Tulsi from the Lord's lotus feet, shows the strength of the Lord's mercy, which follows after the mercy to the Kumaras of Jay and Vijay, who were repentant after offending the Brahmana. So what happens is this: the Lord gave the mercy to the Kumaras only when they received the mercy of Jay and Vijay. Bhakta Kripa Anugami, Bhagavad Kripa. Now Jay and Vijay were cursed by the four Kumaras. So they could have become angry also. They could have cursed back also. They are not ordinary people either. They could have shouted at them. You have no appointment, you have no gate pass, you have no ID card, you have no clothes. How dare you come here? But what happened is that as Jay and Vijay were cursed, they became repentant. They thought that we have offended the Brahmanas, so they became repentant. And due to this repentance of Jay and Vijay, the four Kumaras also become kind towards them, towards Jay and Vijay. And that kindness became the cause of, their being able to have the darshan of the Lord. Because their mood changed. Although they say their anger is not yet gone, but then say that actually it will be good to see Vishwanath Thakur's translation of this verse because it's not matching with what Srila Prabhupada is saying here. Twist here, 3 point. Share this. Yeah, this is a translation by Srila Vishwanath Thakur. Though hearing the words of the Lord, which were pleasing, filled with logic and worthy of worship, the Kumaras were still not satisfied because their minds were bitten by the anger, snake of anger. Saraswati means words and a river. The words were pleasant, or the river had clear water, Ushatim. The words were filled with various logical ornament, or the river was playful. The words were worshipable, or the river was beneficial for the residents of sages. Though tasting that water, experiencing its sweetness, because their minds were bitten by the snake of anger, filled with anger, they could not tolerate even the pleasing words of the Lord because they did not experience the taste. Their souls, their intelligence, and their minds were not satisfied. They did not give regard to his word. Though they showed great repentance, the non-removal of their anger shows the difficulty in removing offense to the devotees. Though the Kumaras committed such offense to the devotees, they are experiencing the sweetness of the fragrance of Tulsi from the Lord's lotus feet shows the strength of the Lord's mercy, which follows after the mercy to the Kumaras of Jay and Vijay, who were repentant after offending the Brahmanas. If the Kumaras had not committed offense to the devotee, then they would have developed pure Dasya Prem from the mercy of the devotees and the Lord. But because of the remaining presence of offense, they are developed only to the stage of Shanta Bhakti. It is said, Bhavopi abhavam Krishna prestha parabdata abhasatam cha sanakir nyuna jatiyatam api. By an offense against the dearest devotee of the Lord, even real bhava will be destroyed. If the offense is grave, if the offense is medium, the bhava will turn into bhava bhas. If the offense is slight, the bhava will become an inferior type. This is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu quotation. So actually, the Kumaras are thinking that Jay and Vijay have offended them, but actually the Kumaras offended Jay Vijay. But still, because Jay and Vijay, because they were repentant, and that calmed down the Kumaras, and Jay Vijay did not take the offense. So that kind of mercy, what Jay and Vijay gave to Kumaras, that became the cause that they could actually see the Lord and smell the fish. But still, their mind were not satiated, although they heard the Lord. So that is what is being described. So we will keep this also. Yeah. So if they would have not committed offense, they would have been into pure Dasya Prem. Because one offends a very intimate devotee of the Lord, then the bhava will change. From Dasarati it becomes Shantarati. If the offense is medium, then it will become bhava abhas, as said here. And if the offense is grave, then the bhava will completely disappear also. So here, because it was not severe, it just came one step down. Now the qualities of Lord's speech are being described here. together. Satyam Vyadaya Shanvanto Lagvim Gurvartha Gahavaram Vighaya Yagada Gambiram Navidustakshikir.
The Lord's excellent speech was difficult to comprehend because of its momentous import and its most profound significance. The sages heard it with wide open ears and pondered it as well. But although hearing, they could not understand what he intended to do.
Yeah. So Lord's speech had these qualities. It was satim, it was excellent without deceit. It was lagvim, eloquent, properly composed. Gahavaram means it was very gahan, very difficult to understand meaning. And Gambiram means it was grave, very profound. These are four qualities. Prabhupada says that no one can surpass the Supreme Personality of Godhead in speaking. There are many qualities of Krishna connected to speaking also. He is Mridu, he is Gambhira. So, like that, there are multiple qualities by which Krishna can be, very kind, at the same time communicate the message. Like after dancing on Kalia's head, Krishna comes out and says, "My dear Kalia, don't become offended with me. I just danced because you made the whole ocean poison, the whole Yamuna poison. I have no envy with you. Now you can go and live." So, although he danced on his head, but still he could pacify him with sweet words. And he's truthful, Satyam. He always keeps his word. Like he told Kunti Maharani that I will get your 5 sons back from the war. So after the war, he got his 5 sons back. And Kunti Maharani said that there may be a day when sun may become cool and moon may become hot, but then your word will always remain true. So like that, multiple qualities related to Krishna's speech are being mentioned in Act of Devotion. So sages tried with open ears to understand the words from the lips of the Supreme Lord, but although his speech was very concise and meaningful, the sages could not completely comprehend what he was saying. The sages couldn't understand. They could not even comprehend the purport of the speech or what the Lord wanted to do. Nor could they understand whether the Lord was angry or pleased with them. So, they were contemplating for a long time whether the Lord is pleased with them or, God have condemned them. So, finally they thought that Lord is pleased with us. Because if Lord has criticized us in the form of praise and we will be punished, then he would say clearly that we Brahmanas should fall to hell since we offended his devotees. That means Lord is pleased. That's how they concluded. That's a little more purport of that. Did I close it fine? So now here, how the sages got confused is being described here, you see. Hearing attentively the words which are true, Satyam, made of carefully chosen syllable, Lagvim, difficult to understand, Agadha, difficult external meaning, Gambhira, they pondered, does the Lord praise us or condemn us? Will he arrange for the punishment we have decided, limit it or destroy it? Will he blame us for the offense or will he treat his true servant with great mercy? We do not know his intention. The joy of the Lord is evident, but the censor of the Lord is not expressed directly. The Lord's censor is understood because of the conjecture of the frightened Kumaras and the revelation given through the Lord's clever word. So now here, what he has already said, no? An alternative meaning of that is being posed by Srila Vishwanath Thakur, where he says, in addressing the sages who were supposed to be omniscient, he said, these are my two associates. He said, they are my bhatya, my servant. This indicates, you fools, you cursed my associate, you used too much force. They are my associate and still you dare to curse them. And then he says that ignoring my intention, they offended you. Right? However, since previous to offending the Kumara, the doorkeepers had not ignored the Lord's intention, this is a crooked utterance of the Lord, indicating that Lord was actually angry with the Kumaras. Because never the Jaya Vijay, they know the intention of the Lord. So he said they did not understand my mood, they offended you. But here the Lord is indicating that Lord was actually angry with the Kumaras. Using the fourth type of Atishayakti, the Lord has reversed the cause and effect of ignoring the Lord and offending the Kumaras. The doorkeepers offended the Kumaras and thus ignored the Lord's intention. Thus he is not blaming the doorkeepers. The punishment is permitted by me. If I am not given a permission, then the punishment ordered by you would not take place at all, since it will later see, the reason is that you would feel otherwise if I cancel the curse like that. I consider that I have committed the offense. This shows the Lord's great love for the doorkeeper, taking them his very self. I have attained fame as a tirtha because of you. These are just words of respect for the sages. I should cut off my arm. Since the Lord identifies the doorkeeper as his arms, the statement shows his great attachment to them. He said, these are my arms. My feet are made pure by your service, by service to you. This is again just external praise by the Lord. Does the Lord's foot dust become pure by service to Brahmanas? Does that destroy all contamination? By that service, does Lakshmi never give up the Lord? I do not eat the offering of the sacrificer. You Brahmanas are fond of eating, therefore you must be fed. It is well known to the people that I eat through the mouth of the Brahmana. Can also mean that like a respectable cow grazing in the field, the Brahmana rejoices by the respect given by me. What you think gives me happiness is not service to me. Like that it says. Then he says, I have wealth of power because of holding the foot dust of the Brahmana on my crown, because of that my foot water purifies the whole universe as the Ganga. This type of respect is actually just a joke. The cows and Brahmanas are not different from me, since they are my body. This is also a joke. I am all controlled by the Brahmanas who offend others. It is the natural quality of the Brahmana to become angry, and I and my devotee laugh at them. We don't become angry. I give natural tolerance only to my devotees, and I will be controlled by that alone. Because tolerance did not appear in Jaya at this time, I have shown indifference to them. Thus they have been cursed. Thus they have been cursed by you, and it will not be otherwise. Because I was not indifferent to Amrish. There was no effect from the anger of Durvasa. On the contrary, the burning produced by Chakra was directly produced by me, a lover of Brahmana. Thus Durvasa fell at the feet of Amrish. So he said, yeah.
Is a revelation.
Yeah, revelation.
It is revelation.
Yeah, Vishwanath Thakur is revealing the mind of the Lord. Lord is having both the minds. One is the direct meaning, what Prabhupada writes in the purports.
It's like a direct revealing the mind of Krishna. So many commentaries are like that.
See, these Vaishnavas, the great souls, Paramhamsas, fully self-realized personalities, their mind is completely dictated by the Lord. It will come further. That their mind, they have no separate existence. So whatever comes in their mind is actually inspired by the Lord. That's why they don't fight against each other. In Bhagavad Gita commentary, you'll find at times Vishwanath Thakur's commentary and Baldev Vidyabhushan commentary are totally different on the same verse, especially 8th chapter you can read. Totally, one word they're making, the meaning only is different, totally distinct meaning. But why? Because Lord is revealing to them. So they don't say this is right or wrong. This is their perspective to that, and devotees can only relish both the meanings. So he said that Lord was displeased is also understood from the later statement, which we'll read in some time. Oh Lord, whatever punishment you wish to award us. Kumara is saying, whatever punishment you wish to award, to us we shall accept without duplicity. We understand that we have cursed two faultless persons. So Lord acted in a very mysterious way, by which the Kumaras got pacified and they realized their mistake. And Jai Vijay, they also realized their fault and their attachment to the Lord also increased simultaneously. You see, both the sides became humble and accepted their mistake. This is a very rare thing. Very rare thing one can do. Otherwise, people are very egoistic. So here, the Lord, the way He dealt with them, He brought the good out of both of them. Sometimes, if the situation not dealt properly, it may bring out worst out of both of them. Then become more egoistic, more fighting. देख लूंगा मैं ये छोड़ के जाता हूँ मैं ये छोड़ता हूँ some lot of things happen. So this is a different perspective. Vishnu Chakra Thakur has shown that how the Lord loves his devotee. The four Kumaras are especially in the Brahmana category. They have not yet come in the devotee category yet, as per this understanding. But Jai Vijay, they are eternal associate of the Lord. So Lord is pacifying them, apparently even praising them. But then Vishnu Chakra Thakur was saying it is criticizing them. Like Gopi Geet, for example. So in the Gopi Geet, in each verse there are two commentaries. One commentary is the direct meaning, what gopis are saying. And another commentary is totally chastising meaning, in which every verse gopis are chastising Krishna. Like say, Tava Kathamritam. So they say, whoever hears your Katha dies only. Tava Katha Mritam. Your Katha kills them. Tatta Jivanam, their life becomes filled with all kind of miseries. Kavibir, Editam. And then your sadhus go here and there and do katha so that they can kill all people. They can become mass murderers. I mean, although it is criticism, but the criticism is another way of praise. Vyaja Stuti it is called. Indirect way of praising them. So like that for each verse, it is like that. Each verse they have given, Vishnu Chakra Thakur has given two meanings. So for any given thing, sometimes in the mind there are multiple emotions and feelings which come. Like, some speaker may come and he may say, oh, I came just being pulled by your love. But that may not be the only thing. Somewhere else he may say, oh, this was the only time I could come. This was the only time available in my schedule. Some other time he may say, oh, I was forced by this person. He was following me up for 2 years. That's why I came. So it is not that anything is wrong. It's just according to his relationship, he will explain to the person why he came. We see that many times. Some speakers come, then they will tell different reasons. None of them is wrong because that is all together. They had the time also, they were being invited also, somebody was following up also. They also like the section which they were given to teach. So like that multiple things can come. None of them is wrong. So similarly, when the Acharya has explained multiple perspective on the same section, then they're not wrong. This is also there as because Lord has multiple meanings in his speech. Even ordinary person can speak in a dual language. One word, one statement, he can mean two things. So Lord can have thousands of meanings in one speech. So that's why nothing wrong. This is also one way that the Lord is displeased with the Kumaras and is protecting the Jai and Vijay. Another way, as he has told, that he is respecting the Brahmanas, but definitely is going a little overboard just to pacify the Brahmanas and to really. And Brahmanas, they could understand. They could understand that Lord is actually going a little overboard. And that's why the section now which you are going to read, you will see that they will refute. They will refute everything what Lord has said now. No, it said that just like the cows graze and then they are praised, so similarly, he said that. Similarly, that is also one kind of praise he gives. No, direct meaning like Prabhupada has given, that also is correct. Not that that is wrong. Indirect also can be relished. Here it says, I do not eat the offering of the sacrifice. You Brahmanas are fond of eating. Therefore, you must be fed. It is well known to the people that I eat through the mouth of the Brahmana. So it is well known. Ghasam charataha, eating morsels, can also mean that like a respectable cow grazing in the field, the Brahmanas rejoice by the respect given by me. So Brahmanas are given respect, then Brahmanas feel, yes, Lord also respect us. Many times, like the Brahmanas were saying when they were doing loud Sankirtan, Arey, now this is Chaturmas, Lord is taking rest. You'll wake up the Lord. So sometimes the Brahmanas become proud also. That, Sudama gaya tha, Bhagwan unka charan do, tum bhi hamara charan do. Like that they become proud also. So genuine Brahmanas are Vaishnavas, they're always humble as servant of the Lord. But Lord is mixing the so-called Brahmanas also here that, Kasam Kritam, like a respectful cow grazing in the field, the Brahmana rejoices by the respect given by me. Lord gives them respect and they feel, oh, Lord also respect them. Actually, they are Lord's servant. But sometimes they rejoice in the respect given by the Lord. Ideally, they should not. So like that, what you think gives me happiness is not service to me. So like that, Lord is speaking in dual language. Yeah, that. So now the four Kumaras will actually respond to what Lord has said. What? Where goes? Where it went? Yeah. So they considered for a long time whether the Lord favored or condemned them. Finally, they concluded the Lord has punished, not punished them, so that means Lord is okay with us. Now they started speaking. Te yoga maya ya aradha parameshtriya mahodayam prochu pranjalayo vipraha praharsta shubita tvacha.
The four Brahmana sages were nevertheless extremely delighted to behold him, and they experienced a thrill throughout their bodies. They then spoke as follows to the Lord, who had revealed the multi glories of the Supreme Personality through his internal potency, Yoga Maya.
Yeah, Prabhupada said they were too puzzled to speak before the Lord for the first time. Hair of their body stood at end. And the highest opulence is Parameshtra, the opulence of Brahma, but the opulence of the Lord is created by Yogamaya, opulence in the world is created by Mahamaya. Now 16 to 25, though they had understood, they again asked the question in order to hear from the mouth of the Lord his intention. You want to punish us? Joking with us, or favoring us, or maintaining dharma for our offense? What exactly is happening? Rishaya uchu navayam bhagavan vidvams tavadeva chikishitam krito me anugrahas cheti yad daksha prabhashase.
The sages said, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, we are unable to know what you intend for us to do. For even though you are the supreme ruler of all, you speak in our favor as if we had done something good for you.
So sages could understand that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is above everyone, was speaking as if you were in the wrong. Therefore, it was difficult for them to understand the word of the Lord. So they could understand that the Lord was speaking in such a humble way just to show his all merciful behavior. Jiva Goswami says the two servants of Vaikuntha cannot offend Brahmanas. We, situated in Brahman, should not become angry. We, having devotion to the Lord, have come among the associate. We do not understand what you want to do. Something impossible should be done. The reason is there. You are Adhyaksha. You are capable of doing everything in another way. If we have a fault, you should fix everything, rearranging the doorkeeper's mind and our mind. And your desire shall be fulfilled, since you said this is our mercy to you. So like that they say, and let's see what is there in the other part. What Srila Vishnu Thakur says. Yeah. So they understood, they again asked question to understand intention. You say to us that you have shown mercy to us. Since that is impossible, wanting to punish us, you first joke with us, or maybe desiring to favor us to help spread dharma you created. Since you pure Brahmanas, you actually are praising us. Please tell us your intention to us, since we are ignorant and unable to understand what you desire. Brahmanasya param devam brahmana kilate prabho vipranam deva devanam bhagavan atma devatam.
O Lord, you are the supreme director of the Brahmanical culture. You are considering the Brahmanas to be in the highest position is your example for teaching others. Actually, you are the supreme worshipable deity, not only for the good gods, but for the Brahmanas also.
Yeah. So Prabhupada tells in the purport about how Lord is the worshipable for all. It's not that one can worship any devata and attain the same result. Lord is worshipped by the devatas also. And Srila Vishwanath Thakur says that, oh Lord, the Brahmanas are supreme deity only because you are fond of Brahmanas. You are the supreme deity of the Brahmanas, you are worshipped by the devatas. So in this world, the Kumaras explain how it is hard to understand the Lord's words. Only because you are fond of Brahmanas do the Brahmanas have a high position. They do not have that position naturally. The Brahmanas are worshipped by the devatas, but you are Bhagavan. By nature, you are in a higher position. You are actually in the position of the Lord, not the Brahmanas. Atma Devatam also mean that without you, they are simply dead. What is the meaning of saying that without service to them, your foot dust has no power? Because that's what he said, na? He says that because of taking dust from your feet, I have become powerful. So they say that how it is we are Brahmanas. Like in text 6 and 7, he says, my prestige, reputation, purifying potency comes from Brahmanas. So that they are refuting. So Prabhupada writes in the purport that all activities performed according to Brahmanical culture, or the Lord is very favorable towards all the activities performed according to Brahmanical culture. All the qualities of control of the senses, mind, cleanliness, these are Brahmanical qualities. So now in the next verse, Vishwanath Thakur says, people become respectable only by following rules of dharma. And dharma is characterized by bhakti, not by steadiness in varnashram. And devotees institute that dharma. Thus the devotees are superior to brahmanas. Brahmanas establish varnashram dharma and devotees establish sanatan dharma. Sanatan dharma is the real dharma because Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityaja mam ekam sharanam vraja. And that is why the devotees are superior to brahmanas. This is being explained here. Tattata sanatano dharma lakshate tanubhistava dharmasya paramo guhyo nirvikaro bhavan matah.
You are the source of the eternal occupation of all living entities. And by your multi-manifestations of personalities of Godhead, you have always protected religion. You are the supreme objective of religious principles, and in our opinion, you are inexhaustible and unchangeable eternally.
Dharmasya paramo guhya. This is most confidential part of religious principle. That is mamekam sharanam vraja. This is the most confidential knowledge in executing religious principle. If one does not become Krishna conscious after very rigidly executing one's specified religious duties, all his labor in following so-called religious principle is simply a waste of time. What is that verse? Dharma sunishtase pamsu vishwakshena kathasya na utpyadet yadratin shrama evahi kevalam. If one does not become Krishna conscious after very rigidly executing one's specified duties. And then Akshat Patitam Toyam. There are many foolish propagandists who say that anybody can be worshipped to reach anywhere. But that is not true. The sages wanted to stress that although the Lord, out of his causeless mercy, says that he worships the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, actually the Lord is worshipable not only by the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, but also by the demigods. So Vishwanath Thakur says that devotees institute Sanatan Dharma. Since the devotees are not different from you, Dharma is protected by your body in the form of the devotees. Since they engage in bhakti everywhere, Sanatan Dharma that is there. That's why we say bhakti aheto ki apratiyata. Propagation of bhakti and practice of bhakti cannot be stopped in any situation. In that book, Salted Bread, some of you read Salted Bread book? Huh? Video, drama. I have not seen drama, how was? But when they were put in that jail, it was a round kind of jail. So they started preaching there also. They started writing on paper and they couldn't see anyone. They would put it down and they start kirtan there without any physical contact. And the whole jail was vibrating with Harinam Sankirtan. And Sachisuta Prabhu who left, then he was tortured in many different ways. He sat on his bed and with his toothpaste, he put all the 12 tilaks. I don't know, I have not seen the drama, but I read the book 2 times. So toothpaste, he put the tilak. There no tilak to rub on. And then he just sat and left. He just sat like a yogi, he just sat. And when they touched him, then they realized he's gone. So even in those situations, difficult situations, they were practicing and they were preaching to other people in the jail. What to say of doing book distribution outside, but in the jail also they were preaching to many. So devotees institute that dharma. Devotees institute Sanatana Dharma. They protect Sanatana Dharma. They are called the body of the Lord. So 8 to 9, how can you say that you get mercy from others? Because Lord said, no, I get mercy from you, and that is why, I get the power to deliver my devotees. So they say that everything comes from you, everyone gets mercy from you. How can you get mercy from us? So they are refuting the Lord's statement. Taranti anjasa mratyum nivrittayad anugrahat yoginah sarsa bhavan kim suddhena grahet tat yatparahe.
Mystics and transcendentalists, by the mercy of the Lord, cross beyond nescience by ceasing all material desires. It is not possible, therefore, that the Supreme Lord can be favored by others.
Yeah, so he says that Taranti anjasa mrityum, one can easily cross over the birth and death cycle. How? Yat anugrahat yogina. Yat anugrahat, those yogis who are attained your favor, your mercy, they cross over that. So, how is it possible that you can be favored by others? That's the question they're asking. Unless one is favored by the Supreme Lord, one cannot cross over the ocean of nations of repeated birth and death. So, all kind of mystic, karmis want favor from demigods, they want to go to heaven. Gyanis want to merge, become muktas. Yogis want siddhis through Paramatma vision. And bhaktas, they want to associate with the Lord. So, the Lord is therefore not in need of another's favor because no one is equal to greater than him. All the mystics, they attain their perfection by worshipping the Lord. So how can Lord worship them? Actually, everyone needs the fear of the Lord for successful understanding of his human mission. And then in text 7, Lord says that Lakshmi did not give me up because I have served the Brahmanas. That is difficult to understand since it is impossible. So he said, na, because Lakshmi Chanchala, she goes everywhere, but still she remains with me because I have served the Brahmanas. That is the qualification. That Lord said, the 7th verse. Here they are saying, no, that is not true. So let's see this one. Yam Vaibhavutir Upayatyanuvela Anyer Artharthibi Susirasha Dhrutapadarenu Dhanyarpitangi Tulasi Navadama Dhamno Lokam Madhu Vrutapateriva Kamayana.
The goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, the dust of whose feet is worn on the head by others, waits upon you as appointed, for she is anxious to secure a place in the abode of the king of bees, who hovers on the fresh breath of tulsi leaves offered at your feet by some blessed devotee.
So said that Lakshmi, many people want her favor. The dust of whose feet is worn on the head by others. But she is anxious, she waits upon you and she is anxious to secure a place in the abode of the king of bees. Why? Because Tulasi is always there on the lotus feet of the Lord. Tulsi never leaves the lotus feet of the Lord, while Lakshmi sometimes has to leave the association of the Lord to bless some devotee. So she is wanting the favor of Tulasi. So she can be like that bumblebee who is hovering on that Tulasi leaf. So she is aspiring for that position. That is being. The conclusion is that no one can be benefactor of the Lord. Everyone is actually the servant of the Lord. And then he says that you are not very attached to Lakshmi by pure service. Lord is not attracted by Lakshmi just because she is wife, but is attracted by her service as a devotee. And is attracted to the greatest devotee. That is being mentioned here. Yes, tam vivikta chariter anuvartamananam natyadriyat parama bhagavata prasanga Sattam Dijanupatha Punya Raja Punita Sri Vatsa Lakshma Kimaga Bhagava Janastam.
O Lord, you are exceedingly attached to the activity of your pure devotee, yet you are never attached to the goddess of fortune, who constantly engage in your transcendental loving service. How can you be first of the path traversed by the Brahmanas, and how can you be glorified and made fortune by the marks of Sivasta on your chest?
Yeah. So they're asking that, you are never attached to goddess of fortune, but you are exceedingly attached to devotees who render constant service unto you. So how can you be purified by the dust of path travels by the Brahmanas? How can you be glorified or made fortune by Sivasa on your chest? He said. Prabhupada says, Lord is served by many thousands of Lakshmi, but is not attached to any of them. He has 6 opulences. The Lord, the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, is sometimes envious of the tulsi leaf which are placed at the lotus feet of the Lord, for they remain fixed there and they do not move. Whereas Lakshmi ji also is stationed under the chest of the Lord, sometimes has to please other devotees to pray for a favor. Lakshmi sometimes has to go to satisfy numerous devotees, but tulsi leaves have never forsake their position, and the Lord therefore appreciates the service of the tulsi more than the service of Lakshmi. When the Lord says, therefore, that it is due to the causeless mercy of the Brahmana that Lakshmi does not leave him, we can understand that Lakshmi is attracted by the opulence of the Lord, not by the Brahmana's benediction upon him. The Lord is not dependent on anyone's mercy for his opulence, he is always self-sufficient. So the Lord's statement that his opulence is due to the benediction of the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas is only to teach others that they should offer respect to the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, the devotees of the Lord. Then in 22 to 24, situated in Bharatvarsha, they speak with humility out of regret, thinking themselves ordinary Brahmanas absorbed in their qualities in the various yugas in 3 verses. So now they speak of Sri Ravi Shankar Thakur says that they are saying you appear with 3 portions of dharma in 3 yugas. You are called 3 yuga because in Kali Yuga Lord does not appear and only the 4th quality remains. With time they are all destroyed. We the Brahmanas have never suffered contempt from you before this time. So now it says about Lord's appearance they describe here. Dharmasya te bhagavatastri tribhisva padveshcharacharamidam dvijadevatartham nunamritam tadabhigati rajastamasya satvena no vardaya unuva nirasya.
O Lord, you are the personification of all religious. Therefore, you manifest yourself in 3 millenniums, and thus you are the protest this universe, which consists of animate and inanimate beings. By your grace, which is pure goodness and is the bestower of all blessings, kindly drive away the elements of Rajas and Tamas for the sake of demigods and twice-born.
Twice-born means Brahmanas. So they are requesting that we are into mode of Tamogun and Rajogun, so please make us free from Rajogun and Tamogun because you are the personification of religion. You manifest yourself in 3 millennium, 3 yuga. And Prabhupada explained about 3 yuga that he is not appearing as in the 4th millennium, Kali Yuga. Because Kali Yuga he comes as Chanda avatar. He does not appear as a manifest incarnation. Other yuga, however, the Lord is manifest incarnation, therefore the address is Tri Yuga, or the Lord who appears in 3 yugas. And then Sridhar Swami quotes that yuga means couple and 3 means 3. So that means Lord is manifested 3 couples by his 6 opulences. Sad Aishwarya Purna we say, 6 Aishwaryas. In that way he can be addressed as 3 yuga, one who can have 6 opulences, 3 yuga, 3 into 2, 6. In 3 millennium, religious principles are protected by 3 kinds of spiritual culture, namely austerity, cleanliness, and mercy. The Lord is called 3 yuga in that way also. In the age of Kali, these 3 requisites to spiritual culture are almost absent. But in spite of that, Lord is kind that he comes and protects the people of this age in his covered incarnation as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The devotees pray to Lord Chaitanya, therefore to eliminate their stock of passion and ignorance, the most precious assets of this yuga. So there the Brahmana was saying that you are three yuga, you come in three yugas, and we are contaminated by passion and ignorance. To remove these base qualities, Prabhupada is saying that Lord has appeared in this as a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and if we pray to him, then we can cleanse. In this Krishna conscious movement, one can cleanse himself of the modes of passion and ignorance by chanting the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, as introduced by Sri Chaitanya. The four Kumaras are cognizant of the situation in the modes of passion and ignorance, because although in Vaikuntha they wanted to curse the devotees of the Lord. Since they were conscious of their own weakness, they prayed to the Lord to remove their still existing passion and ignorance. Important line, huh? Since they were conscious of their own weakness, they prayed to the Lord to remove their still existing passion and ignorance. So being conscious of our weakness or our shortcoming or our anartha, that actually motivates us to pray to the Lord for his mercy. Three transcendental qualifications, cleanliness, austerity, and mercy, are the qualifications of the twice born and the demigod. Those who are not situated in the quality of goodness cannot accept these three principles. And Prabhupada here writes very special thing. You see this here. For the Krishna consciousness movement, yeah, here na something very specially right. For the Krishna consciousness movement, therefore, there are three sinful activities which are prohibited. Namely, illicit sex, intoxication, and eating food other than prasad offered to Krishna. It doesn't say meat eating. Generally, say masahar. जुआ खेलना नहीं, मांसाहार करना नहीं. The vows, no, they take in Marathi. But here it doesn't say masahar. It says eating food other than the prasad offered to Krishna. And these three prohibitions are austerity, cleanliness, and mercy. Devotees are merciful because they spare the poor animals. They're clean because they are free from the contamination from unwanted food and unwanted habit. Austerity is represented by sex life. These principles indicated by the prayers of the four Kumaras should be followed by the devotees who are engaged in Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada writes so clearly. Prabhupada writes in the first letter he wrote, when he wrote about no meat eating, he says, no meat eating, no intoxication. No intoxication means no tea, no coffee, and no tobacco, no cigar, no marijuana, no LSD, like that he wrote. Because intoxication, somebody may take, like because beer पीने से नशा नहीं होता. Beer is not a drink. Beer is like a cold drink. But Prabhupada restricted. And then he says, in that section of meat eating, he says, no food cooked by non-devotee. Like that he wrote that line. In the line for no gambling, he said no gambling, and says no frivolous sports, wasting time. Because wasting time is also kind of gamble. In gambling, we lose money. But when we waste time, that's also gambling, because time is more precious than money. So Prabhupada wrote very elaborate in the first letter. First letter which he put, where he told. And then 22nd Avenue he put. So, but he wrote there, no food, I'll put it. He put that no food cooked by non-devotees, no frivolous sports, no tea, no coffee, no marijuana, like that he put. So,
that ideal standard is cooked by for India, Germany.
yeah.
Take China and offer to Krishna. Germany, Germany. Sometimes some not available. So you
No, we can offer, I mean, we can work out what is best, but we should know the ideal standard, especially with brahmacharis.
Groundnuts, some journalism, we take groundnuts and offer to photos. So
Offer to whom?
our deities photo.
Okay, that's
In journey. So that are not fried, roasted groundnuts.
we buy from the person.
Nay, I don't do that. Some devotees.
No, from where? Who fried them?
General outside people don't do.
From there we take and then we offer.
Roast and they consider that prasad. So that is also not prasad.
Not ideal because सिंगदाना के साथ कांदा लहसुन सब रहता है ना.
नहीं शेंगदाना groundnut.
No. अच्छा सिंगदाना is just
roasted.
वो छीलने वाला.
हाँ.
छीलने वाला जो छील के खाता है.
Already वो roasted है.
हाँ.
उसको थोड़ा नमक लगाया हुआ है,
हाँ,
तो उसको भोग लगा के प्रसाद।
नॉट आइडियल,
हाँ,
बट कुछ नहीं है तो चलेगा। आइडियल नहीं है क्योंकि उसने कहाँ किस कढ़ाई में क्या क्या बनाता है, किसमें उसने
नहीं but ये ग्रे जोन में आता है, ब्लैक जोन में आता है कि मतलब
ग्रे
इसके
में आता है,
प्रसाद ग्रे में आता है।
ग्रे में आता है क्योंकि बैकग्राउंड नहीं पता है ना उस कढ़ाई में क्या क्या बनता है।
अच्छा, मतलब अधर्म भी नहीं है लेकिन आइडियल भी नहीं है।
आइडियल भी नहीं है और ऐसा भी नहीं है कि भाई कुछ है ही नहीं तो ये भी चलो कम से कम सिंगदाना ही है, कुछ और नहीं है। But because we don't know the person and the kadai and all things, that's why there's a problem. Because bhoga is not just the vegetarian food is bhoga by on its own. The food which is the ingredient are purchased with the desire to serve, cook for the Lord. The cooking is done with the desire to serve the Lord, and the offering is made to please the Lord. Only when these three steps are there, that is ideal prasad. Purchasing, cooking, and offering, all three are done with love and devotion. Then it's ideal prasad. एक भी चीज उसमें से उधर उधर है तो हमें फिर भी ठीक है चलेगा, क्योंकि अब क्या करेंगे, इंस्टीट्यूशन में हम उगा तो नहीं रहे। अभी कौन सा मंदिर उगाता है, कोई मंदिर उगा के नहीं कुछ करता है, तो कहाँ से आता है फूल भी, कहाँ कहाँ से आता है वो फूल के वो गोली के ऊपर ही लोग बैठ के आते हैं, फिर उसको खोलते हैं मार्केट में, उसी में से हम खरीद के लेके आके गार्लन बनाते हैं, ऑलरेडी कंटेमिनेटेड। That's why Prabhupada in his later years from 1974 onward, he put great emphasis on temples having their own land to grow the needs of the deities and devotees. Very great emphasis. Varnashram के ऊपर पूरा book है इतना बड़ा. But I think it will happen in time to come when the number of devotees increase more and devotees want variety of engagement. Right now, हैं devotees struggle कर रहे हैं, कोई शहर में job कर रहा है, कोई कुछ कर रहा है. But that was the standard Prabhupada wanted, that we have our own flowers, own fruits, own vegetables, own milk, so that we can cook for the deities very purely. We are growing it. We are having pure thing, and then pujaris are offering. So at all stage, purity is required. Purchasing stage, cooking stage. Sometimes the Mataji cook extra. क्योंकि भोग लगने के बाद जो बचेगा पैक करके ले जाते हैं, दैट इज नॉट गुड कॉन्शियसनेस। दे कुक एक्स्ट्रा कि भाई आज घर पे नहीं बनाना पड़ेगा, आज महाप्रसाद लेके जाएंगे घर पे खिला देंगे, बट दैट मेंटेलिटी इज देयर फ्रॉम द बिगिनिंग ओनली, दैट यू आर कुकिंग नॉट कुकिंग फॉर लॉर्ड, देन यू आर कुकिंग फॉर योर होम पीपल ओनली, दैट इज not a very ideal standard. And Pujari, if he is offering thinking that what he will take out from the plate before backup happens, कई बार होता है सब पुजारी बैकअप मतलब ऑल्टर के अंदर ही पैक करके रख देते हैं आरती के बाद ले जाने के लिए, तो those are all very wrong standard. So Prabhupada very interestingly he write eating food other than the prasad offered to Krishna very distinctly. He didn't say no meat eating. He said namely illicit sex, intoxication. You could have written meat eating as you have written here. Mercy. Mercy means no meat eating. But and he writes that devotees are merciful, they spare the poor animal, they're clean and all. But here he writes eating food other than prasad offered to Krishna. Then Vishnu Jagadama says, you protect the universe for the devatas and brahmanas by your body which give blessing to us. You destroy rajas and tamas which obstruct the quality of austerity, cleanliness, mercy by sattva. You should be merciful to us even now. He seems upset. So let us specify him. This is what four Kumaras are thinking. Nattam dijottam kulam yadihatma gopam gopta vrishah swaharnena sasu nirtena tayor lakshayati shivastu deva pantha loko grasiyat rishabhayas hitat pramanam.
O Lord, you are the protector of highest of the twice born. If you do not protect them by offering worship in mild words, then certainly the auspicious path of worship will be rejected by the people in general who act on the strength and authority of your Lordship.
The Prabhupada says here that the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, they have to be respected as a representative of the Lord because they act on the strength and authority of the Lord. So if that is not there, if you do not show that by example that you offer worship and mild world to Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, then certainly that auspicious path of worship will be rejected by people in general also because yadi rajati srishta. If the Lord will not respect the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, nobody will respect. So Prabhupada talks about the leaders of ideal character are needed because Lord himself says that act and character of great authorities are followed by people in general. One has to follow the authorities. Mahajano yen gata sarpanta. If we simply depend on scriptures, see here, green one. Great authorities should be followed. Otherwise, if we simply depend on the scriptures, we are sometimes misled by rascals, or else we cannot understand or follow the different spiritual injunctions. Many things. In Varnashram, you will find that tens of places Prabhupada said Varnashram is not practical in this age. And then other time you'll find Prabhupada said my 50% work is remaining. Varnashram. Many people are there. So which one is true? 50% remaining or Varnashram is not practical? There are exact quotes, huh? I can show you that if you want. So which to do? Which one to do? That pastime of Draupadi is telling the Brahmana to be, Aswathama to be left. Prabhupada write very contrary things in one sense. He says, oh, she is a lady, she has warm swabhav, she has a soft heart, and she is sentimental. And then she says, no, she's very shastric, she's quoting from the Shastras and she's very compassionate. In Bhagavad Gita also, in one verse, purport, Prabhupada will say, Arjuna is weak-hearted, he's attached. Another one, he will say, he is compassionate not only to soldiers of his side, soldiers of other side also. So whether he's weak-hearted or compassionate. So even by reading, one cannot understand. Prabhupada's quotes are there for everything you want to do in life. Right? So that is why great authority should you follow. Mahajano yen gata sapata.
I should raise that question. So here we see Ritviks. Ritviks are saying that we are following Prabhupada. And we are seeing Shastras, there was no such thing as Ritvik followed by the Acharyas. So means sometimes we say scriptures basis not there. Ritviks what are saying that no scripture basis, no parampara has followed that. So suddenly they are coming with, and they are saying Guru can build a path. Means Guru matlab Acharya cannot set a standard, and he had set the standard, and they have later for that. So means although this is very complicated issue, but in the sense, what do you want to say?
That's why the Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, three have to be considered. Not one. If you take one, then somewhere Mayavad, somewhere Ritvikism, somewhere materialism will come. Three has to be there. Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. What he's saying is, otherwise if we simply depend on the scripture, we are sometimes misled by rascals, or else we cannot understand or follow the different spiritual injunctions. So authority is also required. The scripture is also required. Both are there. Then one has to use one's intelligence to reconcile. The best path is to follow the authorities. So when the Brahman says stated Krishna naturally the protector of cows and Brahmanas, go Brahman Hitaicha, Krishna set an example. He was a cowherd boy, he was respectful to the Brahmanas and the devotees. And Prabhupada says when there's a fight, the body part is protected, head is protected first, then the arms and limbs. So similarly, these higher classes of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, they should be protected. Although protection of the labor should not be neglected, but a special protection should be given to the upper class. And then Brahmana and Vaishnava should be given a special protection. They should be worshipped. One should worship the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas by offering them all kind of endowment and sweet words. And if one has no means to offer anything, he must at least use sweet word to pacify them. The Lord personally exhibited this behavior towards the Kumaras by setting an example. If this system is not introduced by the leader, then human civilization will be lost. When there is no protection and special treatment for the persons who are devotees of the Lord, who are highly intelligent in spiritual life, then the whole society is lost. This kind of civilization recommended is called Devapatha, the royal road of the demigod. The Lord personally wanted to teach this, therefore he offered so much praise to the Kumaras. So this is an important thing. Even in our temple, center, yatra or group, there has to be very high degree of respect to the guest and to the Vaishnavas and to the Brahmanas. Because that is not there, then we will actually lose mercy. One of the reasons for Puna's flourishing is the number of guests who come and the kind of treatment Radhesham offers them is overwhelming. I mean, he sits there, he receives them, garland. I mean, he has made a system by which devotees who visit, they feel very pleased. And when they bless, they also speak katha and they also meet people and they also wish well for the community. And that's how the things are protected. But in those places where there are no visiting devotees and no Vaishnavas are invited and there's a lot of no proper respect is given, then there will be a lot of troubles there. The society will not be peaceful. So when there is no protection and special treatment for the person who has to the Lord, then the whole society is lost. Similar thing exists between brahmachari and grastha also. Till that time, grasthas, they give proper respect to the renounced order, they themselves will be protected. Because they themselves will have inspiration for detachment. They will have right examples and they will be inspired. But if they start, fighting or competing or criticizing the renounced order, then their life will also degrade. Because ultimately, material life has to be renounced, externally or internally. But renunciation is this Vairagya Bhakti, Vairagya Vidya, Nija Bhakti Yogam, Sikshartha Yad Ye, Purusham Mahantam, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Shariradhari. So, Vairagya Vidya is there. From where they will learn if they don't respect the Vairagyas? And similarly, the Vairagis also, Brahmachari, they criticize the Grasthas or they look down upon them, then their spiritual life will also come in danger if they offend them. Adhanama says that aparad to Vaishnavis is also Vaishnava aparad. Because Mataji are also Vaishnavis, no? So it's not that there is nothing called Vaishnava aparad. We can do Vaishnava, we will not do Vaishnava aparad, but there's nothing Vaishnava aparad. Vaishnavis are also Vaishnavas. So if we criticize them, we will fall down from position. Brahmacharis have to be protected by the blessings of the Matajis. Not that we have to go to everyone and touch their feet, but the elderly Matajis and all, they have to be having well wishes. Because Matajis curse, then it's very different. So Brahmacharis by their behavior should not infuriate or trouble or unnecessarily bother Mataji. Just the simple formula is उचित दूरी बनाए रखें. ट्रक के पीछे लिखा रहता है ना, मेंटेन सेफ डिस्टेंस. उसके ऊपर स्पेशली दोज ट्रक्स which carry what? Heavy loads and inflammable material. They write, they write there, you can see that. Inflammable material. Maintain safe distance. उचित दूरी बनाए रखें. वैसे ही देखना चाहिए. उचित दूरी बनाए रखें. रेस्पेक्ट करो दूर से. क्रिटिसाइज मत करो, क्योंकि फ्यूल है ना, जरूरी है ना. बिना उसके कैसे आपका गैस चलेगा नहीं. तो बिना माताओं के संसार कैसे चलेगा? कहाँ से ब्रह्मचर्य आएंगे, कहाँ से वानप्रस्थ आएंगे? सब आते तो जननी से ना. So how can one disrespect ladies? The disrespect is not the right feeling. At the same time, if one goes too close, then one will, become in trouble. Proper right, the form of a woman is created to dismantle the austerities of the man. वो बनाए ही उसके लिए. वो बनाए जैसे कुछ अर्थिंग होता है ना, अर्थिंग करते तो पूरा चार्ज डिस्चार्ज होता है बैटरी. So he said the form of a woman is created to dismantle the austerities of the man. So that is what they are created like. And who created them? Krishna only created them. When he's saying, Kapiladav is saying to his mother, he says, Balam Pasya Me Maya. Says, just look at the power of my Maya. That's like here Lord is saying, my associate. Krishna is also saying, Mam Maya Durattaya. Mam Maya, my Maya. So Lord's Maya. So we are not supposed to criticize, we are not supposed to associate. We are supposed to maintain distance and respect. That's all.
I have fell sick one time. So one Mataji, elderly Mataji, but want to come to meet me. And there, so we just said, Mataji is not allowed, Mataji is not come here to meet. So she took other ways that I hate, means I don't like her, or something like that. So safe distance, I tried to keep safe distance, but it is taken in other way. So what's
It's to be done in a cultural way. See what happens? It's a culture which affects. Sometimes some Matajis may be a little more motherly, especially if they're elderly and all. In case they're coming, then we should have one or two brahmachari with us, not that they come alone. If they're coming, or we may, they may meet us at a public place, and there are one or two more brahmacharis, especially the Mataji is elderly, and she feels, many Matajis are there elderly. They see us as sons, not as like, in wrong spirit. Then we meet them from a distance and, accept their prayers for our good health, and that's all. But one has to do things sensitively also. At the same time, one should maintain the principles also. But if between principle and sensitivity, principle is more important. Right? Like when Bhakti Saraswati Maharaj disciple, OBL Kapoor said, my wife wanted to ask some question. He said, no, you have to be here. So he could have been sensitive, but then principle is not to be alone with a lady. So whether it may look little harsh, but then that's what the reality is. So principle should be maintained, but if there is a middle way by which we can maintain the principle, if there are two more brahmacharis and then Mataji is coming, asking, giving something, so that's okay. Especially Mataji's grandmotherly or like that, not young, and she doesn't have a young daughter for whom she may be. Bhakti Bhagavad Maharaj says, na, till the time you are 50, the grastas may look at your prospective son-in-law also, especially if one is young. So one brahmachari has complained that one grasta is telling his parents, when are you getting your son married? So brahmachari is getting disturbed. So, sometimes the grastas also, they are not trained well and they are taking it lightly. It happens like that. So, like that it happens. So this is very, very important. The proper respect for the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas and proper respect between the ashramas is very important. Otherwise, the disrespect constitutes a kind of offense and it may disturb one. That. So then again he says, when you said you take the dust from the Brahmanas, we could not understand those words are for teaching the people. And Lord says, let the Vedic path be destroyed, what do I care? If I don't respect Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, let the Vedic path be destroyed. Then they say, no, the destruction of the path is not desired by you, who desire good for all people by giving them engagement in action. Tatte nabhishtamivsu sattva nidhir viditso Shemam janaya nija saktibhir udartare Naitatvatatre dhipatervat vishwabhartu Teja shatam tuvanitasya sate vinodaha.
Dear Lord, you never want the auspicious path to be destroyed. For you are the reservoir of all goodness, just to benefit people in general. You destroy the evil elements by your mighty potency. You are the proprietor of the entire three creation and the maintainer of the entire universe. Therefore, your potency is not reduced by your submissive behavior. Rather, by submission, you exhibit your transcendental pastimes.
So it is not that you are becoming submissive, you are taking the dust of your feet, so we become greater and you become lower. It's not like that. Like people say, Lord Ram worship Shiva. So that is why Shiva is superior, Lord Ram is, subordinate. So Lord Krishna worships Sudama also. So then Brahmanas are higher than Krishna. So Lord never get reduced in his position by becoming a cowherd boy, by offering respect to Sudama Brahmana or by other devotees like Nanda Maharaj, Vasudev Maharaj, his sister, Kunti. Everyone knew that he was the Supreme Personality Godhead. Yet his behavior was exemplary. So that is how we should try to understand the appearance of Lord Krishna in this spirit as the Kumaras pray to him. He is eternally a cowherd boy at Vrindavan, is eternally the leader of the battle of Kurukshetra, eternally the opulent prince of Dwarka and the lover of the damsels of Vrindavan. All his appearances are meaningful because they show his real characteristic to the conditioned souls who have forgotten their relationship with the Supreme Lord. He does everything for their benefit. So he comes as an ideal son, as an ideal husband, as an ideal lover, as an ideal friend. So he comes and plays those roles so that he can inspire the conditioned souls to take their responsibilities very seriously. And he also exhibited force, at the battle of Kurukshetra through Arjuna. And non-violence in this respect is Raskardam. So again, now, they are still confused after asking. So in this world, what they say, that's perhaps the last word they are speaking. Going to you, body, mind, and word, we make a request to you whose intentions are hard to understand. We accept whatever you decide about them and us. Then they speak fearfully with tears and shaking bodies. Award finished punishment to us, fitting punishment to us, which we gave to the two sinless doorkeepers by our curse. Yam vanayordaman adesha bhavan vidatte vrittim nutva tad anumana mah nirvelikam asmasava asmasuvaya uchito dhriyatam sadando ye anagaustvayam ayukam shami kilvishena.
O Lord, whatever punishment you wish to add to these two innocent persons, or also to us, we shall accept without duplicity. We understand that we have cursed two faultless
So
persons.
that is the realization. They became humble. Whatever punishment you show out to these two innocent persons, they are saying innocent person, but whatever is still. We have given punishment now, so whether you want to keep it or reduce it or increase it, punishment is already given. So that's why they are saying whatever punishment you wish to award to this to innocent person. We have given the punishment, but you can nullify it or whatever you want to do. And also to us, we shall accept without duplicity. Nirvali come. But they are anagah, they are not faultful, they are faultless. Prabhupada writes a very enlightening purport. The sages now reject their cursing of the two doorkeeper because they are now conscious that persons who engage in the service of the Lord cannot be at fault at any stage. Therefore, a devotee cannot be at fault because those who are engaged in transcendental loving service has all the good qualities of devotee. If sometime it is found that he is in error by accident or by some temporary arrangement, that should not be taken very seriously. The cursing of Jaya and Vijay is being repented here. Now the Kumaras are thinking in terms of their position in the mode of passion and ignorance, and they are prepared to accept any kind of punishment from the Lord. In general, Prabhupada write that statement is very important. In general, when dealing with devotees, we should not try to find faults. In general, when dealing with devotees, we should not try to find faults. Bhagavad Gita also is confirmed that devotee who faithfully serves the Supreme Lord, even if found to commit a gross mistake, shall be considered a sadhu or 70%. Due to former habit, he may commit some wrong, but because he engaged in the service of the Lord, that wrong should not be taken very seriously. So we should focus on the good part. And the faulty part, if we get to see, either if we have the role and the empowerment and position, then we should correct. If not, we should report to somebody who can correct. If not, we can just pray for him. It's not our duty to go around and purify people because let me become an instrument in the purification of others. Ultimately, Lord has to purify through devotees only. So let me only become that purifying agent. No, that's not our business. So very important purpose.
Then we have power, means we have adhikara to correct. When we correct, and devotee also understand that he is corrected for his mistake. But ego is such that still person become inimical. So in that case, we get offense.
No, we don't get any offense because that person is becoming inimical because of his lack of maturity.
Okay.
Because of his lack of maturity. See, as long as we have done things with good intention and for the right purpose, in the right way also, then if you feel that is his immaturity. But if we have also done aggressively, we have done the right thing but in the wrong way, then we will get some reaction. We should do the right thing, but the right way also by thinking, not that we publicly correct someone, not that we, whatever, it's an art. Whatever is the point, just to the point, not beating around the bush. If some mistake has happened, we just tell that mistake. We don't tell, 2 years back that also happened, that. Then people feel very disturbed. So just stick to the point, whatever is there. And we refer to that and we tell this is what it is. And best is that we have a committee to deal with such issues. Dealing with such issues individually brings like individual confrontation, conflict, and sometimes a feeling of enmity. So when there are 2, 3 people, then the person also becomes sober because he can fight with one, he cannot fight with 3 or 4 people. He understands that this mature thing has been taken. And then other people also, if he goes to other people, then other people can also know 3 people have done so. They know that they must have thought and discussed. If one person does, they may say, "Arey, usne apne se man se kar diya hoga, usne kaise pucha?" Like that. So it's good to correct. For severe things, for the small things, 1-to-1 also is fine if we have that. But we should just point out to that thing and then move ahead. We don't have to really go around and kind of say that you are doomed, you are foolish. This was the mistake you did, rectify it and go ahead. So now, again, the Lord will speak to the Kumaras because they were confused. The Lord is pleased or displeased, or they were fearful also. So Lord will again please and they say that do not fear. Their unfavorable act and your curse, all this has been done by me only. It is not offense of my doorkeepers or an offense committed by you. Lord takes the responsibility for the whole thing. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Eto Sure Targatim Pratipadya Satya Samrambha Sambrita Samadhi Anubaddha Yogo Bhuya Saka Samupayasyata Shuyova Shapo Mayeva Nimitas Tadaveta Vipra Sapo Mayeva Nimitta. Like that it says.
The Lord replied, O Brahmanas, know that the punishment you inflicted on them was originally ordained by me, and therefore they will fall to a birth in a demoniac family. But they will be firmly united with me in thought through mental concentration intensified by anger, and they will return to my presence shortly.
So, two things are highlighted here. One thing is that nothing can happen without Lord's sanction. So there was a plan in the cursing of these devotees. What is the plan? Lord want to fight. When you want to fight, he can't fight with any materialistic person. He has to fight with his own devotees only, because ordinary people can't be so powerful to fight with the Lord. So, Vaikuntha world, there's no enemy. Therefore, he sometimes come to the material world as an incarnation in order to manifest his fighting spirit. So, who will fight with the Lord? So, he has to find some devotee only who will play the part of an enemy. Thus, Jay and Vijay were selected by the Lord to fight with him in the material world. And that was the reason the sages came to see him, and accidentally the doorkeepers were cursed. It was the Lord's desire to send them to the material world, not perpetually, but for some time. And then Prabhupada gives the example like on a stage, there's a fight and all. Actually, both are this character, they're both friends. But on the stage, they're putting a show of fighting. Similarly, after finishing their mock fighting, both the devotee and the Lord are again associated in the spiritual planet. The conclusion is that no one falls from the spiritual world or Vaikuntha planet. I was telling you the chapter inspired that thought. No one, Prabhupada's word only, no one falls from the spiritual world or Vaikuntha planet, for it is the eternal abode. But sometimes as the Lord desires, devotee come into the material world as preachers or an atheist. In such cases, in each case, we must understand there is a plan of the Lord. Like he gives the example of Lord Buddha, he came to preach atheism. So then he says, okay, what is the cause of giving such suffering to these two devotees, since you are affectionate to your devotees? And Lord says, oh Brahmanas, know the cause, reflecting carefully, understand, since you are omniscient, what more can I reveal? So, what is the cause? Actually, Jay Vijay had a desire arising from prema, because they can't see the Lord dissatisfied. They can't see the Lord having a desire and they're not able to fulfill that. The devotee's greatest pleasure is to fulfill the desire of the Lord, and Lord's greatest pleasure is to fulfill the desire of the devotee. So both are busy in fulfilling each other's desire. That is the loving reciprocation Lord has. So they felt, if your fighting instinct is not satisfied, then you can have pleasure of fighting us. You want to fight, nobody is ready to fight with you, so we will fight. Because that is your desire, so we are okay with that. This is the spirit in which what gopis are saying, that okay, if you have a headache and your headache will get over by the dust, let us go to hell, but let your headache not be there. So Javija felt, okay, we will be cursed or whatever, but you want to fight, we are ready to fight. Then the Lord made all the arrangement of how that will materialize. So that is why they were not at fault. Nobody is at fault, it is all Lord's plan. It will come in future, Brahmaji will say. So in fulfilling the desire of a devotee, the Lord developed another desire, and thus he did not directly reveal the secret to the Kumaras. They then thought, the Kumaras thought, even the greatest devotees can fall from Vaikuntha because of great offense. What then to speak of where we, who are just dull reflections of sadhakas, can fall from this earth planet? The Kumaras are thinking. So it should be understood that Lord desired to warn the sadhakas to be careful of committing great offense. So there is a underlying plan, but the way Lord enact the plan is something by which we can learn lessons. There is definitely a plan, but a part of Lord's plan is to also give lesson to the sadhakas and relish the mood, but also give lessons. Like the Marshal Leela, when Krishna disappears, he could have chosen any way to disappear. The way he disappeared, because he wanted to teach a lesson to the practicing devotees, that even if you are my son and my grandson and my family member, if you offend the Brahmanas, I will destroy you. Correct? Because, the sons and grandsons, they mocked the sages. Is there a boy or a girl? They put some pillow in the belly and they say, and then the sages said, neither a boy, neither a girl, there will be a marshal which will destroy your entire dynasty. So Krishna could have done any other way, but Krishna wanted to give that impression that the most dangerous thing in this world is to offend the devotees. So he wanted to give that impression. So he made that arrangement to destroy the entire dynasty through this pastime. So there is an inner pastime, but the external lessons also which are taught are very important. Lord means to teach them. So similarly here Lord is teaching, even if Jai Vijay are there, if they offend the Brahmanas, they will fall down. So this is the lesson. Now Brahmaji is again saying, Brahma vacha atate munayo drishta nayanananda bhajanam vaikunta tadadhishthanam vikuntam cha swayam prabham.
Lord Brahma said, after seeing the Lord of Vaikuntha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in the self-illuminated Vaikuntha planet, the sages left that transcendental abode.
So transcendental abode of the Lord is Swayam Prabham, self-illuminating. Natad bhasate shuryo na shashanko na pavakaha. Bhagavad also it is said, there no need. Inhabitants of Vaikuntha never returned to the material world, but the incident of Jaya Vijaya was a different case. They came to the material world for some time and then they returned to Vaikuntha. Bhagavantam parikramya pranipatyanumanya cha pratijagmo pramudita shamshanto vaishnavim shriyam.
The sages circumambulated the Supreme Lord, offered their obeisances, and returned, extremely delighted at learning of the divine opulences of the Vaishnava.
Yeah. So Prabhupada talks about circumambulating. In Vaishnava temple there is arrangement for circumambulating. So the Kumaras are circumambulated and they went. Bhagavan anudhavaha yatam mabeshtam astusam brahmateja samarthopi hantum neche matam tume.
The Lord then said to his attendants, Jai and Vijay, depart this place, but fear not, all glory is unto you. Though I am capable of nullifying the Brahmana's curse, I would not do so. On the contrary, it has my approval.
Yeah. So ordinarily there is no possibility of sages becoming angry, doorkeeper neglecting, nor can one come back from Vaikuntha after once taking birth there. All these incidents therefore were designed by the Lord. What was it? Designed by the Lord himself for the sake of his pastimes in the material world, to relish Viridas and to teach lesson to others. Thus he plainly says that it was done with his approval. Otherwise it would have been impossible for the inhabitant of Vaikuntha to come back to the material world simply because of a Brahmanical curse. And the Lord especially blesses the so-called culprits. All glory unto you. A devotee once accepted by the Lord can never fall down. Vishnu Thakur says, seeing that Jai Vijay had just arrived, the Lord spoke, go to the material world. Seeing them weeping and wailing, the Lord again spoke to them, his heart softened with compassion. Do not fear. May you too have good fortune. Do not go there. Always remain serving me in Vaikuntha. So he said both. You go there, don't go there. So what it means is, he explains. Seeing that they were now happy, he said, though I can nullify the curse, I do not desire to destroy my own promise. I have made a rule to accept the inevitability of a Brahmana's curse. Just as Garuda sacrificed an expansion of his wing in order to maintain the inevitability of the thunderbolt power, you should take on the role of demons in one of your expansion and at the same time remain in Vaikuntha in your Sarupa. So Jai and Vijay are there, but their expansion came in the form of Hiranyaksha and Hiranyagarbha. 3 were there too. And then he proves it. He says in the narration of Vaman and Bali, Jai and Vijay are mentioned among the associates of the Lord fighting. When Vamandev was attacked by the soldiers of Bali Maharaj, then Jai and Vijay were fighting. But after being born as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, they would later be born as Ravana and Kumbhakarna. So where were they? The explanation of their expansion must be given in order to resolve the contradiction of being simultaneously in the form of demons and associated of the Lord. You got it? When Vamandev Bali Maharaj thing is happening, Ravana and Kumbhakarna are also there. Jai Vijay are also fighting. So how there are 2 pieces? So their expansion, their original. So in their expansion form, they are taking that, and otherwise they are Jai Vijay. Like that he explained. Jiva Goswami says, he makes the intention, do not fear, may you have good fortune. Your demonic roles are like the roles of actor or the Jivan Mukta assuming bodies. It will only be an appearance and role of Leela Shakti. Sometimes Leela Shakti placing some Shakti in the Lord's unfavorable and favorable assistant in his pastime produce an appearance of material attachment in a dear devotee in order to nourish the sweetness of the pastime. Like Putana. Putana was looking so attractive. The gopis thought that she is a better mother and if she feeds her milk to her Gopal, then Gopal will become healthy. Like that she thought. Similarly, Jai and Vijay were born as demons. In previous cases, there is a slight shade of illusion. In the case of Jai and Vijay, it was direct. That is a special case since the prema of associate cannot be covered, but was covered in this case. It was not that the Kumaras could make them become enemies of the Lord. It is established that the cause was the desire of the Lord. So this is again another thing is explained, that they had a mere appearance of animosity to the Lord. It is pointed out that other devotees would develop rasa from the Lord and the two gatekeepers as well. Thus, it should be inferred that in order to produce amusement in fighting approved by the Lord to give joy to all devotees, they entered bodies made of maya, filled with hatred by means of their Suddha Sattva forms endowed with natural mystic power like anima. So basically, they entered into this Maya created bodies because they were metal bodies, but their consciousness was temporarily covered. They were not actually enemies of the Lord. That's why it is explained that after Narasimhadev killed Hiranyakashipu, he went on his own and sat on the seat of Hiranyakashipu, on the throne of Hiranyakashipu. And Vishnu Jagatakur writes the purport that so many yogis and gyanis are inviting the Lord to sit in the seat of their heart, but Lord doesn't sit there. But here nobody invited, still he went and sit there. He was so much attached that he took out the intestine and he wore that as garland. It's a honor for Hiranyakashipu. It's an honor for Hiranyakashipu that, that body in which he lived, that body was also so much valued by the Lord that he made a garland out of it, and then he kept the body on his lap. I mean, just see such close proximity to the Lord. Lord doesn't embrace everyone and Lord doesn't touch everyone. He kept it on the lap and did that. So this is all a mystery of body with hatred. They entered bodies made of maya filled with hatred by means of their Suddha Sattva forms endowed with natural mystic power. Giving those forms consciousness by their presence, they disappeared into them. At the same time, they remain uninfluenced by those bodies by the power of their impression of bhakti. So they were in the bodies but were not influenced. Their bhakti was intact. It cannot be said that the two had desired to be demons in order to quickly deliver themselves through quickly experiencing their offense. Such high devotees do not accept going to the Lord's planet without bhakti. Having devotion, they will accept going to hell. Say, na Narayana Parasarve Nakutashona Bibhati. So though there was attraction of the Lord for those having bhakti along with being a Brahmana, the quality of respecting Brahmana was also strong. Thus, he did not revoke the curse. But in the presence of a pure devotee, he showed affection for those pure devotees. This was a manifestation of special qualities for their special bhakti. Etet puraiva nirdishtam ramaya kruddaya yada purapavadrita dwari vishanti mayuparate.
This departure from Vaikuntha was foretold by Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. She was very angry because when she left my abode and then returned, you stopped her at the gate while I was sleeping.
So there is another incident when Lakshmi wanted to come, Jai Vijay stopped her also. Now Lord was taking rest, Lord said nobody should come. And Jai Vijay stopped. So Lakshmi became angry, I am the wife, how can they stop me? So she did not curse, but because she became displeased, then Lord says that, Lakshmi had foretold. I have not read the entire narration where it is, but Lord is quoting that. Purvava nirdishtam ramaya kruddaya yada. When Lakshmi became angry, that time he has given that curse for that. Mai sambramba yogena nistirya brahma heranam pratyeshatam nikasam me kalenal piyasa punaha.
The Lord assured the two Vaikuntha inhabitants, Jai and Vijay, by practicing the mystic yoga system in anger, you will be cleansed of the sin of disobeying the Brahmanas and within a very short time return to me.
So, Supreme Personality of Godhead advised them by dint of bhakti yoga and anger, they would be delivered from the curse of Brahmana. And Madhav Muni remarked in this connection, even a Brahmashap or curse by Brahmana which cannot be overcome by any other means can be overcome by bhakti yoga. And then Prabhupada talks about 12 rasas, 5 primary and 7 secondary. But bhakti yoga is all inclusive. Gopis were attracted by lust. Kamsa was attached to bhakti yoga by dint of fear. Bhakti yoga is so powerful that even becoming an enemy of the Lord and always thinking of him can deliver very quickly. Vishnu Bhakta Smruto Deva Asurasta Dvipante. So Bhakti Yoga is so powerful that both demigod and asuras can derive its benefit if they always think of personality of Godhead. The basic principle of Bhakti Yoga is to think of Lord always. Man manava mat bhakto. So one can always think of the Lord, but if one thinks unfavorably, that is not counted as pure devotional service. It's still a devotional service because you're thinking of the Lord, but it is not pure devotional service. So by thinking of the Lord in averse ways, one cannot develop prema for the Lord. Jai Vijay are special cases. So they are quoted, but that example cannot be followed. This is being explained in the 7th canto repeatedly by Srila Prabhupada, that because the Jai Vijay were eternal associate of the Lord, so when they thought of the Lord in anger or envy, Lord delivered them. But if you ordinary conditions want to achieve the Lord by anger or envy, that is not possible. They're not qualified as pure devotional service. But in their case, because they're already devotees, they're just covered over by this, temporary Maya Shakti. They are already having that devotion in the heart. That's why they could attend, not ordinary people. So that is why one should always engage in favorable devotional service to the Lord. In the metal planet, there are different grades of sinful activities, of which disrespecting a Brahmana or a Vaishnava is the most sinful. And then it says Krishna consciousness is the highest form of thought, which Lord Vishnu is thought of in this age by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. From the statement of Bhagavatam, it appears that if one thinks of Krishna even as an enemy, that particular qualification, thinking of Vishnu or Krishna, cleanses one of all sin. One will become qualified, but it is not easy. 7th canto mentioned that this is not recommended, this is not prescribed. Jai Vijay case was special, otherwise it's not a regular practice to think of Lord as an enemy or to think of Lord out of fear or anger. One should think of Lord as Anukulena Krishna Anushilanam. That is the process being given. And Vishnu Thakur says, though you are mentally demons, you will think of me because I will experience pure happiness in Veeras fighting with you too when I descend as 3 different avatars. Though you have the mentality of demons, you will be purifying service to me. In the 3rd appearance, I will directly accept you. By meeting me in battle with anger, meditating on me with anger, you will overcome the offense to the Kumaras. You will come to me after a short time. After thus speaking at the door of Vaikuntha, the Lord returned to his abode, where there are many celestial airplanes and all surpassing wealth and splendor. So, this incident took place at the entrance of Vaikuntha Loka. That means sages were not actually within Vaikuntha Loka, but were at the gate. How could they return to the material world if they entered Vaikuntha Loka? But factually they did not enter, therefore they returned. He says, so they did not enter, they were at the gate only, so they returned from the gate. And then he said there are many instances where great yogis and brahmanas by dint of their yoga practice have gone from the material world to Vaikuntha Loka, but they were not meant to stay there. They came back. And then he talks about the Vaikuntha airplanes, which is very, very opulent in that. Yeah. Then he talks about the Vishnu Loka or the Vaikuntha Loka. Toto Girvana Rishabho Dustaradhari Lokata Hatashriya Brahmashapad Abhutam Vigatasmayo.
Their beauty and luster diminished by the curse of the Brahmanas, became morose and fell from Vaikuntha, the abode of Supreme Lord.
Yeah. So they fell from Vaikuntha, and what happens on the way? Tada Vaikuntha Dhishana Tayor Nipatamanayo Hahakaro Mahanashid Vimanagreshu Putraka.
Then, as Jaya and Vijaya fell from the Lord's abode, a great roar of disappointment arose from all the demigods who were sitting in their splendid airplanes.
Hahakaro Mahanasid. Hahakar mach gaya. Tave vahi aduna prapto parshada pravaro hare ditera gatara nirvishtam kashyapam teja ulvanam.
Lord Brahma continued, those 2 principal doorkeepers of the personality of Godhead have now entered the womb of Diti, the powerful semen of Kashyapa Muni having covered them.
Prabhupada says, here is a clear proof of how a living entity coming originally from Vaikuntha Loka is engaged in material element. From the semen of the father, injected within the womb of the mother, then it grows into a particular type of body. It is to remember that the mind of Kashyapa Muni was not in order when he conceived the 2 sons. Therefore, the semen it discharged was simultaneously extremely powerful and mixed with the quality of anger. So, while conceiving a child, one's mind must be very sober and devotional. For this purpose, the Garbhadhan Samskar is recommended. If the mind of the father is not sober, the semen discharge will not be very good. Thus, the living entity wrapped in matter produced from the father and mother will be demonic like Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Condition of conception are to be greatly carefully studied. This is a very great science. Tayor asurayor adya tejasa yamayor akshiptam teja etarhi bhagavam sadvidit sati.
It is the prowess of these twin asuras, demons, that has disturbed you, for it has minimized your power. There is no remedy within my power. However, for it is the Lord Himself who desires to do all this.
So, Brahmaji told the whole story and said, these are the twin asuras in the womb of Diti who have minimized your power. There is no remedy within my power. Because Lord want to do it. Purpose is, formerly Hiranyakashipu, Jay and Vijay became asuras. Demigods of the material world could not control them because they are resident of the spiritual world. Therefore, Lord Brahma said, neither he nor all the demigods could counteract the disturbance they created. In other words, although Jay and Vijay assumed the bodies of asuras, they remain more powerful than anyone, thus proving that the Supreme Personality of Godhead desired to fight because the fighting spirit is also within him. So Lord ordered the gatekeepers to go down to the material world to become his enemies so that he could fight with them and his fighting desires would be satisfied. So Brahmaji showed the demigod that the situation created by the darkness for which they were disturbed was the desire of the Supreme Lord. He wanted to show that even these two attendants were coming in the form of demons, they were very powerful, greater than the demigod who could not control them. No one can surpass the acts of the Supreme Lord. The demigods were also advised not to try to counteract this incident because it was ordered by the Lord. And then Prabhupada. Similarly, anyone who is ordered by the Lord to perform some action in the material world, especially preaching his glories, cannot be counteracted by anyone. The will of the Lord is executed under all circumstances. Srila Prabhupada, the key. Prabhupada is writing by his own realization that if one is ordered by the Lord to preach, then it cannot be counteracted by anyone. Last verse. Vishwasya sthiti layo bhava heturadhyo Yogeshwarara Duratya Yoga Maya Shemam Vidashati Sano Bhagavan Trayadhish Tatrasmadhiya Vimrshena Kiyan Ihartha.
My dear sons, the Lord is the controller of the three modes of nature and is responsible for the creation, preservation, and dissolution of the universe. His wonderful creative power, Yogamaya, cannot be easily understood even by the masters of yoga. That most ancient person, the personality of Godhead, will alone come to our rescue. What purpose can we serve on his behalf by deliberating on the subject?
So he says, this is what it is. Lord is the control of three modes. He controls creation, preservation, dissolution. He cannot be easily understood. He only will come to our rescue. What can we do by deliberating? Purport is extremely important. When something is arranged by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one should not be disturbed by it, even it appears to be a reverse according to one's calculation. So many things happen, na? Sometimes with devotees, sometimes within ISKCON also, sometimes in our own temple or our own life. So that's why he says, when something is arranged by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one should not be disturbed by it, even if it appears to be a reverse according to one's calculation. Like somebody was telling me that when Bangladesh was made in 1971, there were 2.5 crore Hindus and 5 crore Muslims. Now population 22 crore. 21.5 crore are Muslims, only 50 lakh are Hindus. So one may wonder, ऐसा कैसे हो गया, क्या हो गया? But actually, it's Lord, many migrated, whatever may happen, but still so much preaching is happening and how things will go in the future, because it's not in our control, it's beyond our control. So it has to be seen somewhat Lord's arrangement only, why Lord appeared in that part which now became Bangladesh. So many holy places are in Bangladesh, huh? So many places are there. Jessore is there, Kheturigram is there, Chattogram is there. So many places are there. That why they're there so much, we can't say. We don't know. Sometimes, many years back, around 7 devotees had gone from Chapati temple to Muktinath. So they went from the below airport and then the whole plane crashed. 7 of them left. Why? We can't know. What is the plan of the Lord? Sometimes we see that a powerful preacher is killed, or sometimes is put into difficulty. Like Haridas Thakur, he was punished at the hands of Kaji. Jesus Christ was crucified, Prahlad Maharaj was put in so much tribulation, Pandavas were friends of Krishna, they lost their kingdom, wife was insulted. Seeing all these reverse effects, seeing all the reverses affect devotee, one should not be disturbed. One should simply understand that in these matters there must be some plan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So many Mughals attacked, deities were shifted, temples were broken, gold was looted. Why? Some inconceivable plan of the Lord. That's what he's saying. In these matters there must be some plan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Bhagavatam's conclusion is that a devotee never disturbed by such reverses. He accepts even reverse condition as the grace of the Lord. Tatyangambham susamikshamanam. One who continues to serve the Lord even in reverse condition is assured that he will go back to Godhead. Lord Brahma assured the demigod there was no use in talking about how the disturbing situation of darkness was taking place. कितना ब्राह्मण जाएगा, कितना ब्राह्मणों को हिरण्यकशिपु ने मारा, कितना यज्ञ बंद कर दिया. No, that is all under the plan of the Lord to teach some lesson. But those who will remain faithful, and even if they die while serving the Lord, while protecting the Lord, they will go back to Godhead. What is the loss? There was no use in talking about how the disturbing situation of darkness was taking place, since the actual fact was that it was ordered by the Supreme Lord. Brahma knew this because he was a great devotee. It was possible for him to understand the plan of the Lord. Vishwadev is saying that Lord's plan cannot be known. What is that verse that says? Prabhupada said that Lord's plan is inconceivable. He uses the word which I am forgetting now. And Queen Kunti also prayed, Na Veda Kashit, that Lord's plan cannot be known. So Brahmaji finally says, this is the plan of the Lord. This I know that this is the plan of the Lord. What is the purpose of this plan? That I don't know, that I will come to know in future. Thus end the Bhakti and the purport of the third canto, 16th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled as the two doorkeepers of Vaikuntha, Jay and Vijay, cursed by the sages. Thus we complete the, our session. It was really good news that next chapter is not there, so it's just 1 o'clock. We can end here. If there's only one or two questions, we can take. Otherwise, we close here. Yes, Parnashan Prabhu, boliye.
Just wanted to know, after they got attracted for Kumaras to Lord, so much attraction was there and glories were there, they realized also mistake. Why they went back again? They could have continued observing the beauty of Lord and serving there, or in Shantarasa just observing.
I'll have to read it, not explained. They did not enter Vaikuntha, definitely that is being mentioned. They did not enter Vaikuntha, and secondly, they could have attained Dasyarati, but they got only Shantarati. Maybe they went out for preaching because they had to establish a sampradaya. They're still preaching and roaming, and just like Durvasa Muni, it is mentioned that after he came back from Vaikuntha and after he reconciled his relationship with Ambrish Maharaj, then Durvasa Muni actually started preaching to all the yogis and jnanis. I went to Vaikuntha and Lord loves his devotee. Bhakti is the only path. All this is useless. So because the four Kumaras went through a transformation and they realized the personal form of the Lord, it's very likely that they went back to preach to the other people on the, Satyaloka and others. Because they came only for a visit, they are not yet qualified to stay there. They have not yet attained the mature prema. That is something which is reflected in the purport. That's why I say that visiting Vaikuntha and staying in Vaikuntha are two different things. Visiting, you may have a visa and passport, go to America for 10 days, 15 days, 6 months and come back. Permanent residency takes time. That has to be earned. So similarly, it looks like that they were not yet qualified for living there, but they definitely got personal appreciation, and now they will do their sadhana with meditation on the personal form of the Lord. And then gradually at the end of the Brahma's day, right, when the universe is kind of destroyed, then everyone get transferred from Brahmaloka to Vaikuntha Loka. So they will go there. That's what something can be connected as per the purpose.
Okay. And Lord used the word that you will be freed from the sin. It's just use of word, no? You will be freed from the sin of offending Brahmanas. That sin is word used just for sake of communication, no? Because sin in Vaikuntha, there is no sin kind of.
No sin in Vaikuntha? Like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, no sin. It is just that the four Kumara, they felt that we have become angry and we have offended the devotees, and the Jaya, they also realized that we have stopped the Brahmanas, we have offended. So, no sin. Lord is saying that I'm ready to take the offense of my devotees, I am ready to lop off my arms, like that is saying. I mean, both realize they're at mistake, and Lord said, no, none of you is at mistake, it's my plan. So it's a very amazing pastime, the way it unfolds. First, both of them thought he's right, they're right. Kumara thought we are right in entering, and Javijay thought we are right in stopping them. Then both thought that both are wrong. Or Kumara thought we became unnecessarily angry to them. Javijay thought that no, we were not supposed to stop them. And third thing, Lord said, no, both of you are right actually. This was my plan. So it goes through very levels of revelations, of understanding.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Okay, let's say Vilas Vardhan Prabhu. Then we'll take from Narari Prabhu. Unmute karo.
Hare Krishna, Puji Dhruva. Thank you, Puji. Very amazing. Unfortunately, I'm in Hyderabad, Puji, could not be physically there. Puji, and especially this telling about the details about what the same saying of Lord and but different meanings. So just like our Kaviraj Goswami says that Krishna Sama Bhagavata Bahu Ashre Prati Shloke Prati Akshare Nana Arth Kahe. So many meanings in the same text you shared about that, especially that pastime of Brahmana, how Lord Brahmanas are dear to Lord, but Chakravarti pass understanding in different way he gives. And Gopis also song, that was also very nice. One question, Puji, actually I wanted to ask from long time. In first class only you told this point, quoting Haldar Maharaj, that if there is a pure desire, sure success. So if the desire is pure, success is sure. You said that. Puji, actually in that direction we want to little bit ask, especially in society movement, sometimes overall the mood is on doing something for Prabhupada actively and contributing in some way or the other. So, and that's why whatever desires are there, that are very much encouraged. If somebody wants to preach or cultivate something, very much encouraged, build a temple or whatever. But with these all things in hand, sometimes in the heart, there may be a lot of other feelings also of getting some prestige or this and that from the other people. So in that case, just wanted to understand how to always keep our desire very pure in executing the mission very effectively, so that both will happen. Mission will also expand and we will also advance. Otherwise, that will happen.
Yeah, good question. Today, Antudipur gave a morning class on mood and mission. Brilliant class. You can hear that. It clarifies a lot of points. So mission is there, which is reflected in terms of accomplishment, achievement, doing something, and the manifest that compassion through various acts, like book distribution, making a temple, prasadam distribution, cultivating people. All those things are part of mission, which is visible, which is part of being an institution. But the mood is internal, and mood is the foundation for the mission. And Prabhupada gives us both mood and the mission. And the mood is what? We do it in the mood of servant. You do it in the mood of being an instrument in the hands of Srila, our spiritual master. Prabhupada write in the Nectar of Devotion, introduction only, where Sri Rupa Goswami said that I am feeling totally unqualified to write this book. And Prabhupada said this should be the mood of every preacher, that everyone must feel totally unqualified. So to the degree Srila Prabhupada asked us to do things, to that degree Srila Prabhupada also emphasized us to become worthy devotees, cultivating the Vaishnava qualities. How many times in this verse we find, Prabhupada saying that a devotee known by his quality, devotee should not be inattentive and lazy in cultivating good qualities. And how many times Prabhupada quotes the Tranadapi Sunichana also. So Prabhupada is emphasizing both, because one is the foundation for other. If we just have the mood but we don't have the mission, then also it's not the best thing. If we just do the mission, we don't have the mood, then also it will be not sustainable. So we have to have the right mood and then do the mission. And mission also empowers us and help us to develop the right mood, because we have to rethink. Because the right mission will not be accomplished without the right mood. So if we are not in the right mood, many times things will not take place. When you have to become prayerful, sober, meditative, then Krishna will empower us to do certain things. So both mood and mission have to be balanced. And Prabhupada writes in the 7th chapter of Adi Leela, the spiritual master is not so much pleased when the disciple brings him money, as much as when he sees the disciple making advancement by strict following of the regulative principle, like that he writes. So Prabhupada, if we really read him in totality, hear him in totality, and hear our spiritual master, we'll find that they are emphasizing on both the things. And that is why we need to make a balance. It is not one at the cost of another. We have several hours dedicated in the day for developing the right mood, right intentions, right qualities. And then we have several hours dedicated to execute things in that mood to accomplish the mission. So that way, combining mood and mission will be very helpful. Hear the lecture if you have not heard today morning. It was a brilliant masterpiece lecture by Antardeep Prabhu. Hear that. Okay?
Yes, Prbhuji. Thank you so much. Actually, by seeing you both mood and mission, we actually get a lot.
I'm
That's why
not.
I was inspired to ask this question.
You can see Antardeep Prabhu is absorbed. He is master. He will say master, mood of masters.
He considers you as one of his very important masters.
I am a little bit distracted, but I'm trying to be on the right track. I'm a little bit mental, but he is totally, in the right track. Very good example for us. And of course, Radheshyam Prabhu is always absorbed in pleasing Guru Maharaj. Although he's far off, but then every act, every camp he does, every service he does, is very conscious that this way Maharaj should be pleased. He may not speak about it so much as the only thing, but then we can see that in many acts he changes his plan just to meet Maharaj or just to, hear from Maharaj. So that goes to show his great attachment. Although he may not be sentimentally talking all the time about Maharaj, but he does everything dedicated to Maharaj. And also I've seen he has a lot of feeling for other Vrindavan Chand. He may not be worshipping the deities, but he feels a lot and he says, the deity should be pleased and festival should be celebrated nicely, and he sees the pictures. I mean, he has that affection, although some of us may be pujaris, but then he may not be pujari, but all his preaching is also for the pleasure of deities. He's very consciously doing that. So great souls, they have very subtle consciousness. For us, we may not realize it unless it's very gross or unless we do it grossly. But for them, their mind is hooked. Vrindavan Chandra is pleased, Guru Maharaj is pleased, that's everything is okay. So they do it very fluently. For us, it is an endeavor to do it in a conscious way. For them, it is like set in that mood. So we have many wonderful examples around us. Okay, thank you very much. Last question here, and then we'll end. Yeah. Oh, you have one more? Okay. You have your last question, yeah.
Lord Vishnu popular, yeah, and both of them realize that they are at fault, and so matter is solved.
Yeah.
So in our day-to-day life, when two devotees come across, there is who can pacify both of them. Generally, it goes in one side.
Yeah.
Generally, one side, one party is satisfied, another party is dissatisfied. So on personal level, so it's very tough to expect from institutional level. So on personal level, whenever we come across in such a situation, just like Jai Vijay found to be not actually offending, they are doing their duties. Maybe not in a right mood, maybe mood may be missing, but they are doing their duty. Sometimes we also caught in such situation, and we have to come up with that scenario. So how to deal, come out of that situation.
Actually, here, like Jai Vijay did something. So although it was the plan of the Lord, but they took responsibility for it. They didn't say, oh Lord, it was your plan, you unnecessarily made us feel wrong, guilty. So Lord plan is there, but it will manifest in a very natural way only. And for Lord, because they're pure devotee, Lord can play with them. Lord can arrange a way that Lord said they're my instrument. For us, we can see that it is Lord's arrangement for us to learn some lessons. In one lecture, Radhanand Maharaj says that if nobody insults you and nobody chastises you, nobody disrespects you, then where's the opportunity to practice Pranadapi Sunichena? Right? If everyone just respects and just is humble, so he says that actually when these people do these things to you, then you should treat them as your guru. You should respect them as your guru because they are giving the opportunity to apply the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in your life. So बड़ा ऊंचा चीज है, लेकिन बोलते हैं, ऐसा बोलते हैं, You know, if somebody is actually doing something which is really not pleasing to us, that is the time when we apply the Shastric teaching and the words of our spiritual master in our life. Okay, how to behave. They are insulting, but a person will be able to tolerate. So we utilize the power of tolerance in our life. When they disrespected us, still we respected. Amani na manadena. We realize our mistake, humility. So we, even when Lord puts us in this situation not occurring without the knowledge of the Lord. The person cannot say anything to us without the knowledge of the Lord. Lord has to give him power, it is power of speech. So knowing that Lord has some plan to teach us certain thing, maybe we are attached to certain things, attached to certain ideas, certain image, certain kind of respect and treatment. So Lord has arranged. Let me figure out what is Lord's lesson for me rather than getting caught up in that situation, why that thing happened. Because why that thing happened, I will never be able to figure out. Only thing I know, whatever may be the reason, but ultimately, Lord sanctioned it. That's what Brahmaji says. That it has happened by Lord sanction. You can't say ऐसा क्यों है, अंधेरा क्यों हो रहा है, ये क्यों ना, अब अंधेरा है, अब रहेंगे, आतंक मचाएंगे, अगले चैप्टर में हिरण्यकशिपु आतंक आएगा. Lord allowed them. When Prathu Maharaj section, you will find that Lord allowed Indra to create all these apasampradayas. So many apasampradayas he created. Lord allowed them because Lord had some plan. Other living entities should also get some distracted pathways, no? For them to not follow the right path. राइट पाथ के अलावा दूसरा बात होगा नहीं तो चॉइस किधर से होगा. लॉर्ड वाज नॉट डिस्प्लीज्ड विद इंद्रा. इंद्रा को लेके आए साथ में, डाटा नहीं तुमने इतना सारा आप संप्रदाय क्रिएट कर दिया. राइट. So Lord has some plan. Nobody can go beyond the Lord's plan. But let me understand what is Lord's plan for me. What does Lord want me to learn? Rather than saying why the situation happened and how to change the situation, it may not be in our hand all the time, but it's always in our hand to learn the lessons for us. So if we adopt this mood of learning and we pray to the Lord, then Lord will give us the vision to learn something in that situation. Like I told, I was heavily distracted. This noise, I never given class here. This is the first time I'm giving class here. Your class also I took in that. Correct, no? Last time, remember? We had there. So this is the first time. I teach almost 2 to 3 times every year, Bhakti Vaibhav or something, some batches. But the first time I give class here. And first day I thought I will shift there. Because only 6, 7 of you are there. The capacity of 16 is there. But then I thought, now I have to learn something. I have to learn to focus my mind even in the midst of so much of noise and all. So I actually could not do my best. I forgot so many slokas, so many things. Because if I'm remembering something and some sound comes in, mind goes blank and you could see that. But then I thought, this time let me practice because, maybe I go to a temple, they tell me to give a Bhagavad Gita class in the evening when everyone is taking darshan and everyone is shouting and yelling. Then I'm more practiced now. If I can give here, I can give there also. So any situation in life, at a personal level, we can always learn lessons. If you all could have told, okay, we will go there, I would have gone. But then I said, if I exert my power to go there, that's not good. Let me only tolerate and improve. I'm really telling you. The first day I came, I was like, how teach? You must have seen first day how many times I kind of stopped and got bewildered. Now I've become used to कि 12:30 बजे ये होगा, 12:45 पे ये होगा. आज तो announcement कम हो रहा है. आज तो announcement की आवाज नहीं आ रहा है. आता है ना? लक्ष्य दिया. क्या बोलते सकल जन लक्ष्य दिया. आज चपाती नहीं है, जेवड़ आहे, भात आहे, भाजी आहे. So at an individual level, at each instance, if we are willing, Lord will reveal a lesson. At community level, at service level, we should try to do the best. But at service level also, we will have limitation. It is not that we are God when we serve. At service level also, we will have limitations. People will not listen. Our own ideas may be faulty. They may not work out the way we want them to work out. People may not work in the way we may expect them to work. People may not respond, We may expect 20 people to come for program, only 5 may come. So many things can happen. Health may not cooperate. So, at a society level, institution level, there may be so many challenges. So, at each place, we try to do the best we can. And we pray to Lord for allowing us to do our best. And for the right purpose of pleasing Him, satisfying Him. That much we should do. That attitude is in our hand. And Prabhupada says advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude. It's such a glorious golden, statement. Doesn't depend on anything else. Attitude is whose responsibility? Counselors, mentor, neighbor, friend, guru, president. Whose responsibility is to have the right attitude? Our responsibility. In the midst of anything, whatever is we are, our situations are different. So right attitude is the key to advancement, and right attitude is fully within our, capacity to understand, develop, and deepen it. It is not a one-day thing, it's a cultivation. That's where we should focus. We should not waste time in trying to change things and situations which are beyond us. If it is within us, we should. That's our service then. It's our service. But something beyond us, then you change yourself. If something is within your capacity, then you change the situation for others' benefit. Live in this way, and everything is wonderful. Okay, thank you very much. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakti Vranda ki jai. Very happy and very grateful that I got a chance to serve all of you, some offline, some online, some Brahman, some in Brahman, Brahma Jyoti, some in Vaikuntha planets, some in the classroom. So I'm happy, and I got to learn an extra chapter because of some misunderstanding. I didn't see the message. I'll still see it. I just somehow thought it was 17, but I'm happy I could end well in time. Otherwise, I would have been dragging fast. But that is 31 verses are there in that chapter also. But it's good that it will go in series in the next time. So if there's something good, you can note it, learned. It's my good fortune to be an instrument to that. And if there is something which has confused you, bewildered you, or maybe in any case hurt you, that's not my intention, but in case it has, then I seek your kind forgiveness for that. And we'll meet again in maybe the second part of the canto, or maybe in the fourth canto somewhere, because I taught second canto, first three, and now this one. So it's a long gap. I think almost a year or more, right? Because, right?
6 months, Prbhuji.
Huh? No. 5 6 months only. No.
Yes, Prbhuji, 6.
How's that? 6 months? 6 months only?
6 months.
Okay.
6 months.
Because 2 more sessions, second canto must have got covered. 2 months, right? Because I taught the first part, 1 to 4. I taught 1 to 4. 4, 5, 6, I think. And then third, how many units have done? 3 units must have done, not 12 chapter, 4, 4, 4. 5 units, yeah, 5, 6 months, right. And then we'll meet again whenever time permits that, okay?
Hare Krishna, so let us, are we going through?
Yes, so let us thank His Grace Revati Prabhu for taking out valuable time of his and tolerating so much noises, but still Prabhuji gave his valuable time.
It's okay, my tolerating power really increased.
Let us chant one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Prabhuji, by expressing
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Thank you all very much. All the best for your future sessions. Meet again sometime. Haribol.
So, is some prasad for
Oh, really?
offline devotees?
Yeah, that's good. At least there should be some advantage in being offline. Otherwise, just equal rights, and people will.
I think some announcement devotees can hear.
You will announce, are we going through? Krishna.
You can announce.
Hare Krishna. So, Prbhuji, this is regards to our second unit. Next unit will be 27, 28, 29. I may be missing the date properly, but Samarpan Gopur will be covering that on those 3 days. And then after that, from 4th to 9th, Vamshivadan Prabhu will take the next unit after that. The chapter number 17, 18, 19, 20 are very less. That won't require so much of time. So that Samapanga will cover. Later, Vamshivadana will take 21 to 24. One thing just I wanted to say is whatever, I don't know, the devotees may have certain things, but devotees are requested to plan their dates and everything in a way that they can be physically present in the class. And in case they are unable to do that, then they should write a mail long before, at least a week before, to Rukmani Vallabh Prabhu, and then only the sanction will be there whether they can do so or not. Otherwise, this online facility should not be misused in that way. So that's a humble request. When Prbhuji sanctions, and otherwise we cannot allow you in the online window like that to enter anybody and anybody to join, because that's actually he told me, Madhav Charan Prabhu told me that from next time we will not give any online link, because in class very few are there, online where many are there. So he told me like that. I tried to explain him. So I cannot explain him always. Just my humble request to all devotees that please take care of that. And of course attendance won't be marked, and then exam will not be allowed accordingly in that way. Yeah, so that's all. Yes, Abhi, going through something more?
Done, Prbhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.